You're listening to 95.9 FM, KMPN Burnett, keeping him close by to Burnett, Marble Falls, and all the surrounding area. Now, from the ministries of the KHCB Network and Camp Peniel of Marble Falls, welcome to a special presentation. This 95.9 FM features the varsity football game of the week with the Burnett Bulldogs. Join in as play-by-play announcer Mark Edmondson brings all the action and highlights of another weekend of Burnett Bulldog High School football. He is joined by Roy Kaiser in order to give all the details of tonight's contest. For those of you who want to hear the regular programming of the KHCB network, go to khcb.org and listen via the internet or download the free KHCB app to your smartphone or tablet. Now it's time to bring you all the action of tonight's contest on 95.9 FM. So here's Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser.
It is Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser, live from Burnett, Texas. It's senior night, game number 5 for the Bulldogs. Lots of stuff going on. Had the senior bonfire last night. Next week's homecoming. But it is Burnett Bulldog football on the air on BTXSportsOnline.com. You can go there and follow it to the YouTube channel where the audio feed is. Also on KMPN 95.9 FM here locally. And, of course, we're going to be going through the video feed of the Burnett Athletic YouTube channel as well. Our audio feed will go through that. So, right now, you know, the stands are just starting to fill in, but once the senior parents who are on the field getting their photo opportunities, they get in the stands, it's going to fill them up quickly. It is a long line of senior parents. I recognize them senior parents of football and Highlandettes and bands. So a great night for football. The Bulldogs come in at 2-2 on the season, and they face a very good Gatesville Hornet team that is 3-1. So we're just getting underway here again on senior night from Burnett, Texas. Going to be a really beautiful night for football. Going to talk about some different things, a lot of going on, but I want to let you bring you in, Coach Kaiser, with a little football. Bulldogs come off of a tough but a hard-fought win last week against Fredericksburg. This is going to be a good test for them here tonight to see if they can follow it up. They've evened the record at 2-2, but this Gatesville team is a good team, very good team that the Bulldogs will face off against as well.
You're exactly right, Mark. It was a fun game last week. We talked about the history between Burnett and Fredericksburg, and it did not disappoint. It went back and forth, and Bulldogs able to pull out a good win. Tonight, I think the Bulldogs are going to face a very solid Gatesville team, and we've had a pretty good history with this school as well, going back in the years playing them in football. They are 3-1. They have had some pretty good wins, and they're in a tough district. You know, they compete with a couple of Waco schools, Conley and Robinson and La Vega. China Spring, always a great football program. Lorena, moving up from 3A, always solid in 3A. So that's going to be an interesting district to watch as the year progresses.
Yeah, well, and again, we're here on senior night. A lot of things going on. I have. This is not just I want to, I do, but I have to because I owe a debt. And as always, so many things going on. One of the things that I am a sophomore sponsor now that I'm back at the high school. And if you're listening somewhere else and you need to go to the concession stand, there are workers there. So we have to find workers during the week. Twice a year as sophomore sponsors. I'm doing other things on Friday night. People understand that, but I'm trying to help, want to help. And so I sent an email out. And just to show you the spirit of the BHS, got several people. Coach Kelly reached out and said, we can find you somebody. And then Carrie Beth Langbein also did and had some FFA members filling in. And so they all took care of me, and I appreciate that. But it works pretty well, too, because I said I'd give them a big shout-out. But more than that, Carrie Beth is getting married. So she is getting married next week to Cade Ringstaff it is – Glacier National Park in Montana, and Philip Molina is doing the ceremony, is going to officiate the ceremony. He's here tonight filming, but he's going to. So there's just so many things going on. So a big congratulations to them, and thanks for the help as well. And again, if you're here, or if you have people here, text them, tell them to go buy stuff at the concession stand. So we are just getting started. Again, senior night, still got a long line of the senior parents getting introduced, pictures made, and it's going to make for a fun night of football here from Burnett, Texas. Again, you can find us on BTXSportsOnline.com, on 95.9 FM. And again, we will be at home games here through Damon Byerly's Burnett Athletic YouTube channel on his video feed. So lots of stuff going on. We're going to take our first break. We'll have the Coach Ben Spears Show, and we'll come back and get you ready for tonight's kickoff. It is the Burnett Bulldogs and the Gatesville Hornets on BTXSportsOnline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM.
I'm Miriam Neff.
And I'm Valerie Neff Hogan with Wise Women Managing Money.
The Bible has rough words about those who do not provide for their family, but it also has advice in Proverbs about accommodating fools. We need to discern when our family members need help and when we are just helping someone act foolish and enable bad behavior.
We've been clear with our children, when they're moving forward, doing positive, God-honoring things, we will help give their efforts rocket boosters. But if they are making decisions and taking actions that tear down the walls of their own lives, we will not help them move even one brick.
I know it's hard. Mama's heartstrings, Dad's desires to see success. We need to help, not enable. This feature at wisewomenmanagingmoney.com.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back here. Before we go to the Coach Ben Spears Show, Coach Kaiser, we do also have a little special message here from you.
Well, we have about 40 more yards of parents and seniors to announce, but the next one up on the 40-yard line is Coach Doug Messer and his wife and their senior daughter, Jaylee, who is maybe the sweetest girl I've ever met. So congratulations to them for having their last senior. Oh, it's definitely from the mom side. There is no doubt.
And if y'all listen week in and week out, y'all know Coach Messer, the head girls basketball coach, is also always chimes in. And I've got a feeling that we'll hear from him tonight. He can't do it right now. He just took his picture at midfield, but we'll be expecting text soon. So we do appreciate it. It is, again, such a great spirited community to be a part of. So we thank you. We'll be back with after the Coach Ben Spears Show on BTXSportsOnline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM. It's week number 5 in the Coach Ben Spears Show, head coach of the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are 2-2 after a road victory over Fredericksburg, 22-15. Please share your thoughts on the game.
Well, Mark, a win is a win. And as they say, it's better to have an ugly win than a pretty loss. And so we're fortunate. Proud of our guys of getting it done, finding a way to get it done. And it was a little bit ugly at times, or we couldn't move the ball the way we wanted to. And it became a grind in the second half, but they found a way to get it done. And and that's important. That's something we couldn't do week 1 versus Lago. We couldn't find a way to get it. Had our chances and couldn't do it. And then so it was great to see them do this this past week at Fred, which is not an easy place to go in and win. And I got to remind myself that it doesn't happen a lot with teams. But proud of them for that, and just the ability to find a way, and we kind of did it on special teams and on defense this week.
The Bulldogs special teams were certainly a positive factor in last week's win. Could you talk a little bit about their work and the importance to a team?
Well, special teams is huge, and I know we said it before. People kind of sometimes coaches view as it's a spot to rest kids, to get some of those starters off the field, but it's so vital. And I think Coach Shane Carby has done a really great job of getting these kids invested in it and knowing the importance of it. So when you have those situations occur that we punted. I don't what was it 6 times or something. It's incredible. You go from a game where you didn't punt once to a game where you punt 6 times, and both of them you still win. So to execute those things, I know we had one. We botched a high snap. It didn't really cost us in the end because of a turnover. We got it back, but it's important to execute that, and you win a game on a punt. How often do you win in the game on the punt? And they're coming all after it, and we've got to execute that and block and get it off, and we did, and that killed the clock, and we won the game. So that's a good job with that. I thought the kickoff return squad did fairly well on 2 kickoff returns, getting us set up for success. And then kickoff coverage, as you can see, we added Marco to it, and he's a threat with the leg, and he can get it in the end zone. He can really reach, and the ball sounds different coming off of that foot, and so that's fun. And then those guys being able to run down, and they were able to contain number 5, doing a good job keeping them from cutting loose and getting and breaking loose on us. And so those are things are huge for us. And that the defense and our ability to play special teams in the second half is really kind of what won you the game. And I think Coach Brewer did an outstanding job as offensive coordinator, just coming up with some plays to little gimmicks here and there, just to get push the ball down the field and get us some scores, and they worked great, and sometimes that's what it takes, whatever it takes to win and get the W in the end. You have to do those things.
The Bulldogs face the Gatesville Hornets this week. What can you tell us about the Hornets?
Very, very physical team. They've got some pretty good talent up front. Probably the best running back we'll see this year until playoffs, hopefully. He's got a big kid. He's about 6'1", 190, 195. He's quick enough to take it the distance, and he's also strong enough to run right through you and drag you. And they take pride in him, and they take pride in their run game. There lots of counter concepts, and you're looking at power and gap schemes. They'll run a little toss to them out of the pistol formation, and even the quarterback will lead up in it, and they'll get after it. So Coach Aaron over there, he does a great job with them and getting them bought in, and they have good numbers all the way up through their program. So they've had a lot of success, and they know who they are, and they play on just one side of the ball, so they're pretty fresh on both sides, and they do a good job scheme-wise. So it'll be a tough challenge for us coming home. We are excited about being able to play a home game, so that's been different. And the kids are excited about playing in front of the home crowd again. But they're going to be a tough challenge for us, and good prep, getting ready for district.
We are at the halfway point of the regular season. So many practices and games now in the books. What kind of adjustments does a team make, if any, with, as you said, district just a few weeks away?
There's always room for improvement, and that comes with us as practice and scheduling and things like that. You've got to be able to tweak it a little bit to make it better and more efficient. And you like to change it up a little bit, because anytime there's change, it really breaks up just the grind of things or the monotonous of things, and for how this is always the way we've done it. And so when you change it up, it does create a little bit of a stir, or a little bit of excitement, or even something that helped this week. I feel like we had a change of weather. When Monday, when it barely got to 80 degrees, you're just like, all right, it's starting to feel more like fall. Thank you, Lord. And we're pushing the high 90s. So it's been, and then those little things, you just you'd be surprised at what it does for a team and the energy level. And we've got to be aware of it. We're aware of the grind, and we can't just get into the fog of war and just like, this is how we do it and always done it, and we're just gonna work. And because it's the same for us, the coaches can get tired, they can get exhausted. Things that also that helps. You're on a 2-game win streak and having some success and seeing some things. So that helps with being in that midseason grind. Because just being with a 5-team district, yeah, we got to go this far, and we have to have 5 non-district games, and then we roll right into it. So with district coming and Marble will be the first game, yeah, that'll be a new energy for us as we go forward too.
Well, thank you, and as always, good luck.
Thank you.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live here from Bulldog Field in Burnett, Texas, coming down to the final few seniors and their parents. Great chance to be recognized before the game. We're still about 15 minutes away from scheduled kickoff. It is the Bulldogs against the Gatesville Hornets. How did the Bulldogs get here? Well, it goes back to, as we are now at the halfway point of the regular season, August the 29th, a 23-20 loss in the last 20 seconds. Gave up a score to Laga Vista and lost that game. And then the second week traveled to a very good Eastview team in Georgetown. It was a 51-0 loss for the Bulldogs. And then in the on the 13th of September, Bulldogs got their first win on the road, 49-35 over Little River Academy, and they had been on the road 3 weeks with last week's 22-15 win over Fredericksburg. So first home game, and then next week we'll have another home game, which will be homecoming. So get to be at home for a couple of weeks after 3 weeks on the road. But that's how they got to this 2-2 mark at this point of the season.
The Gatesville Hornets arrived tonight in Burnett, Texas on a really beautiful night, 85 degrees, and they are 3-1 with a win over the Taylor Ducks, who currently are 0-4. Then they lost to Glenrose 12-28, and Glenrose is always a good team. They're 3-1 so far this year. Then they beat Mahia. They beat Mahia 35-13, and Mahia is 1-3 on the season. And then their last game, homecoming for them against McGregor, 0-4 for McGregor, and they beat them 59-14. So, really, Mark, Gatesville comes in and they look solid. They're big. They're always big, no matter what kind of season they have. They have big kids, athletic kids, but their combined opponents only have 4 wins between them. So I don't know how good they really are.
Yeah, we're going to find out. And the other part of that is, they definitely have some talent. We're going to have to play well. I said it last week. I thought in the second half in particular, and Coach Spear talked about it. And we were fighting through some injuries and things, but they know they can't make that excuse. We're going to have to tackle well. You break with a big running back like that. At times we have shown, I think, over the last couple of years that it certainly has improved. But at times you give somebody a second chance. And we aren't. We're not big physically, and you get into the secondary, and you've got to have that help. They have that gang tackling mentality, but that's going to be extra key because they're gonna hand it to number 11, and if he breaks the tackle, the next thing you're seeing is 30, 40 yards down the field or a touchdown, and so it's going to be crucial because we can make those tackles, but we've got to get there, and you've got to have help. You can't assume one player, we have him down. They've got to stay with the play. I think that's going to be crucial tonight.
I agree. That's definitely the key tonight. Rayshawn Smith is number 11's name, and every coach that I talked to, the first thing they said was, well, they have some good running backs. So when that happens, defensively, you anticipate loading the box and making sure you take care of the running back, which puts a lot of pressure on your quarterback. Quarterback for Gatesville is Garrett Keaton. He's a junior, and because of the pressure that Smith sees, it puts a lot on him. Last week, he was 12 of 16 for 210 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I think he can sling it around if Smith is bottled up.
Right, and that is something, we got hurt by some passing in the last few weeks, and if you do stop something, then you make an adjustment to it. And I certainly don't think Gatesville one-dimensional, but you have to believe they're going to give the running back that first option. And if you are able to do that, then you adjust to what it is. If you give up a big play somewhere along the way, well, hopefully in that you've also gotten them off the field a couple of times. I don't think this is a shutout type game. I think the Bulldogs offense too. Last week we scored 22 points. Was that all in the first half, wasn't it?
I believe that's right.
I know we might have scored one early in the second, but we definitely struggled more offensively in the second half. We're going to have a better game overall. And it was a lot of self-inflicted, that where we had some offsides, some penalties that set us back, and we are not in the position, and we've talked about this for years, and not a lot of teams, but when you have a team that's playing a lot of players playing on both sides of the ball, you don't want to take those extra snaps and have to. It just ends up costing you, especially late in the game. I think early, this is our best, what we've done well. The last couple of games, got off early start, getting them off the field defensively, and gave us a chance to get a lead. It happened, Little River Academy came back with some big points in the second half, but we were able to hold them up because we just built such a big lead. And a bit that way last week, the defense had to kind of carry the load late in that game, making a couple of crucial stops when Fredericksburg had a chance to take the lead. So, you got to have it both ways. But, I think this is going to be in that if we're going to win it, we're going to have to put up, in the 30 points or something and play with them, because I think they're going to put some points on the board, and we're going to have to be able to answer time. Then and turnovers and those kinds of things then could make the difference. So I think it should make for an exciting game, but we're going to have to play well to beat this Gatesville team, no doubt about it.
Well, and I think another factor in the inconsistency of some of what we've seen is the lineup. We've seen in every game how the lineup has changed for various reasons, and so the guys have got to overcome that. And it's the next man up mentality. That player's out, so somebody's got to take his place. And looking at some starters, we've got some new starters this week that haven't been there before.
And we're about to do that. I do want to mention, now I figured it out, that Little River Academy, that was not a bumblebee. It was a hornet. So the Gatesville Hornet, no, I'm sure it was a bumblebee. But they have, it's different because their blow-up has a giant Texas cut out on the front with an angry hornet on it. But that resembles that angry bumblebee. I just want you to know. So just a thought.
Maybe I agree with you.
Yeah, a little bit like it. I'm thinking whoever did that, Little River Academy ought to talk to him about that. But anyway, mascots. Okay, I'm about mascots as Gatesville comes onto the field. The starters for the Bulldogs tonight: at quarterback, Rhett Murray. Josiah Coronado will be at running back. And last week we did not have a strong running game consistently, and we're going to have to, I think that's another key, going to have to be able to get some first downs in the running game to be able to open up some other things. The receivers, Matthew Williams, Marcus Pimentel, Demetrius Talifero at the Y, or the tight end and wide receiver type spot. The line at left tackle, Johnny Sharon; left guard, Brandon Westbrook; the center will be Jonathan Ryder; right guard, Nate Torres; and right tackle, Ellis Starkey. The starting offense for the Bulldogs.
Defensively for Burnett tonight in the 3-4, Holden Valdez, Riley Howell at the ends, and Evan Joyner, number 56, I think starting his first game at nose. Outside linebackers, Noah Billick, Trevin Park, the third leading tackler for the Bulldogs so far this year at 4.3 tackles per game. And the inside linebackers, the Mike linebacker, Alejandro Ochoa. And your leading tackler for the Bulldogs so far this year at 30 tackles, 7.5 a game, is Chris Kastner. Cornerbacks, Jordan Jones, Aiden Sanchez, and safeties, Colt Stanford and Lou Laidler.
And I think about it, I don't think about saying it because people see it, and we've talked about it before, but the Bulldogs about to come through. Our own fine blow-up, the mighty Bulldog, who got the mean Bulldog face, and then the Bulldogs come out in their black pants, green jerseys with white numerals, white stripes, and the white helmets with the Bulldog coming out of the state of Texas as they come onto the field. The Hornets already on their sideline. We'll see if they have the captains first, but both teams now on the field, not too far away from tonight's kickoff. Again, you can find us on BTXSportsOnline.com. Thanks to Chad Nelson, as always. There's some directions there to help you get to our audio YouTube channel. Again, we're also going through the video YouTube channel at Home Games of Damon Byerly, and that's on the Burnett Athletic YouTube channel. Our audio feed is through that video feed. And then, of course, as always, locally, thanks to Dan with us tonight and KMPN 95.9 FM. Always such a tremendous job they do, and we appreciate them as always, bringing it to you as you happen to be out somewhere or at home, but on the road. Turn that dial on and listen to the humble tones of Coach Kaiser and the not so humble tones of me. All right, I think we're going to have the captains first. I'll get the Burnett captains for the Bulldogs. It will be Jonathan Ryder, also Chris Kasner, Marcus Pimentel, and Colt Stanford.
Number 72, Gabriel Pollard. Number 54, Josh Morris. Number 14, West Allman. And number 71, Jarrett Burks.
All right. Our meeting at midfield, once we have the coin toss, we'll take a last break. The Hornets won the toss and declined. Did they defer? Or no, Burnett won it. Okay, and they want the defense on the field first. So Burnett did win the toss, and they deferred to the second half. So Gatesville will get the opening kickoff. The Bulldogs like to have the defense on the field to start games, and as the Bulldogs come back to the sideline, ready to go, we'll go ahead and take our final break before kickoff. The Burnett Bulldogs and the Gatesville Hornets on BTXSportsOnline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM.
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
I grew up in a family of atheist Jews that believed in science and humanism, not God. I learned Yiddish and Jewish history, songs and dance, and we had family feasts on Passover and Hanukkah. Ours was a leftist political stance with anti-war and civil rights protests. But I had a hunger inside for spiritual things that led me to explore drugs and the occult in high school. In college, I dared to attend an evangelism crusade in Madison Square Garden and fought the urge to go to the altar. When I was 18, my hunger for something unknown led me to bike across the country, after which I have found it hard to go back to the routine. The next summer, I biked around Europe with my girlfriend, then visited Egypt and Ethiopia. The summer after that, I fell in love with Diana, and we traveled to Oregon, where a Christian shared the gospel with us and told us that living together was a sin. Diana and I moved to California, where I fell under the spell of a false guru who drove Diana away. I was suicidal until I called on the name of Jesus. Then I began reading the Bible and saw how deceived I had been. Diana had given her life to Christ, and we decided to get married. I called myself a Christian from then on, but I wasn't born again. My friend in Oregon kept praying, and one day I was finally ready to trust Christ as my Messiah and Lord. I prayed and wept for hours at the sacrifice of Jesus for my sins. I'm Robert Rosette, and I found new life in Jesus Christ. If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, or maybe you have questions about it, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you. Our Bulldogs will kick off, and it will be put at the 40-yard line. Marco Campus Huerta, who really showed his leg last week, will kick off again. He had just been called up a couple of weeks ago and kicked it into the end zone. We'll see what they do here, but we are ready to get things started. Burnett Bulldog football against the Gatesville Hornets, not just one. They brought them all.
Looks like number 10, Amos Phillips, is deep.
And this kick is deep and will go to the 3-yard line. Returned there.
20.
To the 20, 25, 26 with good coverage downfield. Again, showing that big leg He just outside of the end zone that time, but he gets a lot of air under it, too. It'll be 1st and 10. You're listening to Burning Bulldog Football on KMPN 95.9 FM, BTXSportsOnline.com. Gatesville starts at their own 26-yard line.
Let's see what the Bulldog defense can come up with here. They know what they've got to do. They've got to hit and hold on.
Rayshawn Smith is in a pistol formation behind the quarterback, Keaton. And they do hand it up. No, he's going to throw on 1st down out in the flat. And it's intercepted. He threw underneath. It's a turnover. It's Colt Stanford. And he threw it right to him. He was in great position, but just a bad pass. He threw it right to Stanford. They don't run it. They try to be a little tricky. Bulldogs were saying, we're ready for something. It's a turnover interception. Stanford Bulldogs will start at their own 32. You got to love it.
Well, I think Gatesville trying to be a little cute in that situation and ends up backfiring on them.
Let's put some points on the board. Let's make it backfire a little further. They start at the Gatesville 32, 1st and 10. First play from scrimmage, interception by Colt Stanford. Some Bulldogs send Laidler on late. 1st and 10. Murray's going to hand off. It's to Coronado. He's got blockers. He cuts inside the 20, still on his feet. The 15, taken out inside it was right at the 16. He had stepped out of bounds, but he had blockers. He read them well, and he's going to pick up yards of 16 to the 16. That's easy. I like when that happens. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Beautifully done.
Running Lather on there at the last second really worked out because he picked up a key block.
He had that kick-out block. Again, the diamond formation. 3 backs in the backfield. Murray going to hand it off up the middle to Coronado. Not much there. They give him a yard to the 15. And that's where we really struggled, it seemed, last week, was running inside the guard spot, the tackle to guard. 2nd and 9 from the 15-yard line. Bulldogs get a turnover on the first play from scrimmage, an interception. And now have it 2nd and 9 at the Gatesville 15, just underway, 11:09 counting first quarter, no score. Murray to throw out in the flat and catches made at the 10. And then he had to step out of bounds a little too close to the sideline to turn it upfield. Stanford with the catch. They give him the 10. That's a gain of 5. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4, maybe a 3.
It was really a nice throw, Mark. No one could have caught that except for the Burnett receiver. Very well placed.
It was because there was the defender underneath worried me a little bit, but he did. He threw it to the outside. So it's 3rd down and 4 at the 10. Coronado to the right of Murray. Trip receivers to the left, but one goes in motion. Now they're going to throw it out in the flat. Catch is made. It's Howell right to the 2-yard line. Howell had gone in motion. He set up as the H-back. He's just kind of goes out in the flat. Murray finds him perfectly. It's a 1st down to the 2-yard line, a gain of 8, and the Bulldogs are rolling. 1st and goal at the 2. We've got Laidler back in, Kasner and Coronado with Murray. It's the triangle formation. Murray in shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Coronado. Coronado gets hit, but he rolls into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs! A 2-yard touchdown run by Josiah Coronado. Bulldogs lead 6-0 with the extra point to come. What a great start for the Bulldogs tonight.
Well, all started with the interception, but Mark, what great creativity, great play calling and execution by the Bulldog offense. Good mix of run and pass.
Extra point attempt. Snap is back. Hold is good. Kick on the way, and it is plenty of leg, and it's good by, again, up showing his leg on the kickoff as well as Campos Huerta, and it's 7-0. We're going to keep it here. It's just over a minute gone in the first quarter. Bulldogs lead 7-0.
You know, you have 2 really good passes by Murray at the 5 for 5 yards and 8 yards.
But I like the runs. We had blocking, and we were pushing them.
Yep, those passes, though, were very accurate.
Yes.
Right on the sideline where nobody could catch them except the Burnett receivers. And then you've got Coronado 16-1 and 2 for the touchdown. And a great job by the offensive line to execute those. Really, I mean, fantastic start for the Bulldogs.
2-yard touchdown run, extra point was good, and the Bulldogs lead 7-0 over Gatesville. I'm almost betting Gatesville is going to hand the ball off on their first play from scrimmage on the next one.
Again, I think maybe tried to overthink something there, tried to fool the Bulldogs.
Didn't have any of it.
No, they didn't.
Worked again to kick off from the 40. 10:49 to go in the first quarter, just over a minute gone. Bulldogs lead 7-0. Line drive kick, and this will be into the end zone and it does bounce out the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. So again, just a line drive kick, big leg.
Yeah, that never got probably 20 feet off the ground. Looked like one of my drives off the tee.
Except it didn't go left or right.
That's right. We're right down the middle.
That's what threw me off. 2-yard touchdown run for the Bulldogs. Now it's at the 25-yard line of Gatesville, their second possession. Again, they have the running back Smith in a pistol formation. They pitch it to him, and he is hit in the backfield and knocked back. 4 Bulldogs corral him, and they were ready for it, and he was looking for space. The thing is, he might need a little room to get started, and the Bulldogs gave him none of that. He was trying to make more of it, and it's a loss of 2 back to the 23-yard line.
Ochoa and Kastner, the first ones there to meet him, and just a fantastic job of not letting him get away.
2nd and 12. Gatesville has it at their own 23-yard line. One receiver split wide right, 2 to the left, short side of the field, pistol formation. Man goes in motion. Now he'll set up in the backfield. Keaton pitches it to Smith. Smith is hit as he gets a hole on the right side, pushes through to about the 30. That's a gain of 7. He got 7 in a quick way, but it will bring up a 3rd down and 5. 3rd and 5.
Well, and thankfully we were able to trip him up on the end, or he goes for a little bit more.
Yeah, like that end zone down there. He does look like when he picks up speed, he could get some big strides, pick up a lot of ground in a hurry. 3rd and 5, Bulldogs see if they could get another important stop. Again, pistol formation. Again, they're going to set up an extra back in the backfield. Again, they're going to pitch it to Keaton, but they get him in the back. Bulldogs, or they are getting pressure in the backfield, and he gets no yardage. That's a real key. Before he can get going, we've got somebody hitting him from the side, and it'll be a 4th down in a punting situation.
Yeah, really great strategy there, and, we're able to get past those offensive linemen and get to Smith before he can get started.
Quarterback is – no, they do have – the punter is back at about the 18-yard line. It is 4th and 5. Snap back, and he is going to kick it and got it away.
Barely.
Barely. We had somebody, but it's a short kick. It's going to be near the 50. Great job. It's that running style, kind of Australian style. Yeah, rugby-style kick, and it really didn't work out well there for the Hornets as they give it the 45-yard line of Gatesville. Bulldogs, great field position after the punt.
Well, great job defensively.
Yes.
Every player is doing their job, and it's showing right now.
Bulldogs lead 7-0. 8:36 to go first quarter. They have the ball on the Gatesville side of the field here from Bulldog Field in Burnett.
Still need Laidler.
Yep. We got about 12 seconds on the play clock. Again, that diamond formation. Got to hurry up a little bit here. Now they're sending more. We're going to have trouble getting this play off, but we do get it off just in time. Then on a reverse fake, it's going to be a pass. Throws it out and almost could have been intercepted. But then when the defender went forward, it almost fell into Kastner's hands, which he would have gone a long way, but he couldn't corral it. 2nd down and 10 on the incompletion. We tricked ourselves almost a little too much. A lot of movement, but we did have somebody there, but the defender came in front of that pass. 2nd down.
It doesn't help when you run somebody on late, and I think that play was doomed from the beginning.
Again, the triangle formation, Laidler in the pistol formation. They hand it off to Laidler on the left side. He lowers the shoulder. He's going to pick up about 2 or 3 yards to the 40. They give him the 43. give him? Kind of right between 43 and 42. So it's going to be 3rd down and 8. We'll call it 2 yards at the Gatesville 43-yard line.
Murray has had some success that last series with the out routes. Let's see if they go back to that.
Trip receivers right, 1 to the left. Coronado on the backfield with Murray on 3rd and long. He does have time, throws it out in the flat. Stanford makes the catch, but he was a little short of the 1st down. Let's see, the Bulldogs are going to be about 2 yards short. Let's see what they decide to do here. They are at the 42-yard line. It's a solid 2 yards on 4th down. They got to, to the 38-yard line. My apologies. 38 was a gain of 5. But it will bring up a 4th and 2. The Bulldogs have Murray under center. Sends a man in motion on 4th and 2. They're going to hand it off underneath to Kasner. Kasner fighting for it and still fighting, but I don't think they're going to give it to him. Turnover on downs. You know, Coach, I'm not sure. I shouldn't say this. It's not I don't like it. I'm not sure we've been able to run from shotgun and get blockers out. We had Kasner up close. He just had no chance to get going. The defensive lineman stood him up. And so he really never got a chance. It ends up being no gain and a turnover and downs at the 38.
Well, I like the idea of the play. It just wasn't executed very well in that one.
So turnover on downs. So Gatesville down 7-0, gets the offense back on the field. They throw the wide receiver screen that's too high. Get on that ball. It was almost a lateral. I think they'll call it a forward pass. But
close.
It's incomplete. But because it started sailing on him.
Yes, it did. That was not a very good pass. And
he hasn't shown that he's thrown a real crisp ball in the couple that he has thrown. It's 2nd and 10.
Which, we'll take tonight if that's the way he wants to throw it.
Yes, indeed. But that took way too long, and then it was high. They got lucky that they kept that football. 2nd and 10 at the 37 is the 37-yard line. Gatesville is going to pitch it. Gets a hole up the middle, and then he pulls people with him, and he's going to get a 1st down. He is a big back when he gets out there rolling. He gets up to the 47, 48-yard line, a gain of 11. So it is 1st and 10.
He's coming out.
Yes.
And he's going to have runs like that, Mark.
Yep.
Bulldogs are going to have to be okay with that as long as they don't let him get away from them.
1st and 10 at their own 48. 6:52 clock runs. Bulldogs lead 7-0. But Gatesville near midfield, pistol formation, snap back. He got hit hard. Yeah, the quarterback faked it. He went to throw. I think he meant to throw, but no receiver was open, so he just pulled it down, and he paid for it. He got hit hard.
By Ochoa.
Ochoa hit Keaton, and it's 2nd down and 10. Yeah, he went to throw, and there was nobody standing there, so I think he just pulled it down and ran.
Not on the same page on that play.
So 2nd and 10 for the Hornets.
Smith is
48.
Smith is still out, isn't he? And so not sure why he went out.
He's standing on the sideline over there, yes. Man goes in motion. Keaton, snap. He's going to pitch it up the middle, and not much there. The other new running back is that 7 or
7. And
Sideburns.
Laidler with the tackle coming in from a secondary spot. So great tackle.
And it's 3rd and 9. Smith does check back in. Well, even 3rd and 9, he's the one you got to key on. If I force him to pass the ball, I think you want that. So 3rd and 9 from the 49-yard line.
Their pitches are a little strange.
Yes,
it's almost like sandlot pitching.
It is a pistol formation. Smith behind Keaton. He sends a man in motion. He sets up in the slot. He gets the snap. He is going to throw. Does have time. Deep middle and up for grabs. But the receiver had a step, but the pass out in front of number 10 is incomplete. Amos Phillips, they did go for the deep pass. That was his best pass of the night, but there was coverage down there, and it was a one-handed attempt that he couldn't come in, Phillips.
Right. And I think you called it. If Smith's not getting the ball, I think you've got a 50-50 chance of winning that play.
4th and 9. stay at home here. It is at the 49-yard line. The punter is in. Of course, a while ago, he kind of, that rugby style, he ran it for a while before actually kicking it. And if he does that too long, he's going to get one blocked. He didn't there. He got it away. Much better kick for the Hornets. And it's taking a bounce. Can it get in? It goes into the end zone, doesn't it? Yes,
barely.
That was close. There's one of those times players, we did it one week. We let the bounce, but on a turf, you don't know. And fortunately, instead of getting it at the 1, it slides in. The Bulldogs will get it at the 20. That's a lot different.
After my comment about Sandlot football, Daryl Crane texts me and says, strange offense, looks like Pee-wee football. Now, I don't know. You don't see too many players like Smith in Pee-wee football.
I would
but
say
I
that
do
one-
agree with what he's saying.
All right, let's see. It's another punt, interception, punt. Now the Bulldogs do start at their worst field position, the 20. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. We'll get a break here in a little bit. Do appreciate you joining us. Vernon Bulldog football, Game 5. The Bulldogs at 2-2. Hornets of Gatesville at 3-1. Murray in shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Coronado up the middle, and he just lowers the shoulder again. Not a lot of room up the middle right now for the Bulldogs. He gets a couple. I give him maybe almost 4. See where they end up marking it. Started at the 20. That's a little more gain there. It's a good surge to the 24-yard line, 2nd and 6. Long 6. 2 trip receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Murray. Coronado to his left. He almost had him jump there. Bulldogs lead 7-0 here in the first quarter. Have a 2nd down and 6. Murray in shotgun. Snap. Throws it out. Complete to Pimentel, but he's taken down. A missed block, and that was a good defensive job by, I think, number 20 for them, Grady Keaton, another Keaton, and he makes the tackle, loss back to the 23, a loss of 1. He just got to Pimentel before he could do anything.
Yeah, that was just a nice defensive play, and sometimes the defense is better than the offense.
So it is 3rd down and 7 now. Bulldogs trying to not go another quick 3. Last time it was 4 and out. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, short side of the field. 3rd and 7. Murray, pressure comes late, throws it, incomplete. And that one he was trying to get to Williams. Williams in the middle, a lot of players around him, but ball gets there, but not on the same page as making it work for the Bulldogs, and they're going to bring the punting unit on.
You know, Mark, I've noticed when Murray has to dance around and wait for that receiver to come open, oftentimes it doesn't work out for us. When we're more of a timing route,
right,
we look
well.
good.
And I will say, it also, to me, seeing the punt is away. Laidler, high punt. Gonna be fair caught at about the 42, 43-yard line of Gatesville. It also seems, and maybe I'm wrong on this, you could tell me, when he has to do that, he'll put a little extra on it, and it's a little high, a little harder, trying to maybe get it there quicker because he's having to make up for it's not that timing. Williams kind of got his hands on it, but it was a little high, a little in front of him, and just couldn't haul it in. Where some of those Murray's passes just right, like it hits right there at the hands. First and 10.
I think you're on to something.
43 for Gatesville at their own 43. Pistol formation. They give it to Smith, and he's hit hard in the backfield. Great hit on the outside, and that's also good because, a running back, even a really good one, hit hard again and again. That sure takes its toll. I don't know who it was, but a loss of 1.
I just can't get over the way they're pitching the football. It's just it is really almost like you're drawing it up in the dirt.
And the thing is, it does give the defense time to get in there. 2nd and 11. They look to the sideline again. Gary Keaton at quarterback. Pistol formation. Rayshawn Smith behind him. 2nd 11. They pitch it to the other side. He goes up the middle. He goes airborne. But he is hit hard again, and it's going to be a short gain of about 3 to the 45-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down. 3rd down and about 7 or 8, about 8.
That was Ochoa on that play, and or the previous play, and then Noah Billick on that one. So that those defensive linemen are doing a great job of getting off of their blocks and finding the football.
And they've been doing really good job. I hope I don't jinx this because last week we had some trouble on third down. We've been getting them off the field. We want that to continue here, 3rd and 8. Smith, pistol formation. Keaton sends a man in motion. He sets up in front of him. He's going to pitch it. No, he's going to roll out to throw. Looking, middle of the field, and it's short and incomplete. And that was almost, they got a man open because they did buy some time, but then the pass wasn't very good. It was short, and they're going to have to punt again.
Well, I think he had his first receiver, but he wasn't deep enough for the first down, so he bypassed him and just made a bad throw.
14's already been on the field several times. West Allman is their punter. I think that's Allman. He's standing at his 33. The snap is back, and this one just straight away punt, and it takes a Gatesville bounce, but still decent field position. They're going to be inside the 30, but the defense for the Bulldogs. Now, this is where we have talked about it. Okay, you've got the defense, an interception, 3 punts, but only 7 points. You've had good field position. We saw some of this. The offense, just a little bit off sync. You don't want to keep putting your defense in that position again and again. You've got to move the ball, put some points on the board.
Well, they benefited from a short field with the interception, and so it didn't take long to get in the end zone.
Right.
We're going to have to put a little longer drive together if we're going to score.
They start at their own 28-yard line. Murray with Coronado in the backfield. Trip receivers to the left. Man goes in motion. Kasner. He sets up in the backfield. Handoff to Coronado, and he's broke a tackle and found some room to the 35-yard line. Josiah Coronado with a 7-yard run, 7 yards. Minute 43. We might have to wait to the quarter. We'll get some spots in. We'll work it in. It's 7-0. Bulldogs scored in just over a minute to go in a minute gone. But they hand it off to Coronado. He's hit hard and not much gain. I had one good play up the middle, and then the next just not able to get anything going, and they give him a yard to the 36, but it's already 3rd down, 3rd and 3. Minute 15 clock runs here in the first quarter, 7-0 Bulldogs.
You know, we had this trouble last week, Mark. We couldn't score in the first quarter.
Trip receivers to the left, one to the right. Kasner goes in motion. Again, sets up in the backfield. Again, a handoff to Coronado. He lowers the shoulder. He should get the first down. He does. To the 40-yard line, a gain of 4. Moves the chains. Very important first down.
Yep, gain of 4, and we're going to have to get another play off here before the quarter.
Yep, 50 seconds. Clock starts to run again, but 30 seconds on the play clock. Trip receivers to the left side. One to the right. That's Kasner again. Murray, 1st and 10 at the 40. He will throw out to Kasner in the flat. Kasner is able to get yardage to the 46-yard line, a gain of 6. He was trying to get a little more there, but just wasn't there and did the right thing, went down with a good gain of 6 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down and 4. They wouldn't have to get another play off. We'll see. There's 15 seconds on the clock in the quarter, 2nd and 4. Bulldogs lined up, trip receivers to the left. They had them jump. Let's see, though. Bulldogs move, too, but let's see.
I think this one may go against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they did move, but I'm not sure they'd come across the line
before.
They're
talking about it.
Yeah. There was some movement.
There was some movement across the line. So you could make an argument that it's on Gatesville.
Let's see what they call here. False start against the Bulldogs, so that is a play again. Last week we had several of those that hurt us instead of 2nd and one ref come back in to ask something. He might have changed that.
Mark,
it was. I don't know if I've ever seen.
Well,
you don't see that very often, but the one came in.
I guarantee you that's the right call.
Yeah.
Because the nose tackle just came across and
he was in the neutral zone.
He was definitely in the neutral zone.
I just feel you're right. That should make it a 1st down it's Gatesville side of the field, the Gatesville 49 after the 5-yard penalty. But we will go to the second quarter. Bulldogs lead 7-0 on BTXSportsOnline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM.
Have you ever been lost? Actually, we know the answer because at one point or another, we've all been lost. Even thinking about those times in life when we didn't know where we are makes us feel uncomfortable. Is your relationship with God like that? Not sure which way to go and making no progress? Jesus came to offer the way and walk with us so we could find the path to true forgiveness, peace, and hope. If you want to experience that, then call us at 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us at chataboutjesus.com.
We as a human race are now, in a sense, in a moral and spiritual desert.
Billy Graham.
A desert where life seems drained of meaning and strength and purpose. Barren days of grief and heartache, broken hopes and paradise lost.
Sound familiar? Well, just like a real desert, what you need most right now is water. Spiritual water.
The Christian has to come to terms with the desert. Remember to reach up by faith, and you'll always find the hand of God there. You must depend upon the water of life that goes through the scriptures, telling about the person of Jesus Christ, who said himself, I am the water of life.
We can tell you more about the refreshing water that only Jesus Christ can provide for your life.
It is 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 49. Flag. We got a stoppage of play as we start the second quarter. This makes you think this will be against the Bulldogs. The last one, 5 yards, marked off against Gatesville. Let's see. So it is a false start against the Bulldogs. Let's don't start that. Okay. It went back to the 46-yard line on the Burnett side of the field now. They were at the 49 of Gatesville.
We got called for that last week, Mark, with the center faking the snap.
Trip receivers to the left, one to the right. Murray sends a man in motion. It's Kasner again. They're going to hand it off to Coronado again. We have gone to that play over and over. He comes in to block, but it did not work that time. Lost a yard back to the 45 as they saw that. It's almost, and it worked some, but then they threw the pass to Kasner. You really feel like they're setting something up with that because we have run that play maybe 5-6 times out of the last 8 plays, I would think.
Yeah. And
same formation.
Of course, you're always calling the play for the next play.
Trip receivers to the left, one to the right. On second and long, second and about 16. He will throw in middle. Oh, my. Well, that's got to be a penalty. They knocked the ref down, so he didn't see it. But, I mean, didn't Hal get clobbered?
In live action, it looked like he probably did. I'm wondering if he timed it perfectly. Only replay would know.
Yeah, that's true. But we'll just have to guess. It's 3rd and 16 after the incompletion. 3rd and long. But, again, that rep was right there, too, so it all kind of came together at once. Bulldogs, though, now 3rd and long at their own 45. Murray throws it out in the flat. Catch is made, got one block, and still on his feet, good run. Is that Pimentel on the outside? It's hard to see. Far side of the field, old eyes. Stanford. Nope, it was Stanford. And it gets down to the 43-yard line on the Gatesville side of the field. It brings up a 4th and 4, and now you think the offense looks like it's going to stay on. 4th and about 4. Thanks to Mr. Moore over the loudspeaker in the stadium. Helped me make that call. They are going to go for it. Murray throws it out in the flat. Williams makes the catch. He pulls away from a defender, and Moore, he gets the first down. And I don't know if he had it or not. I guess he did, but he pulled away from it. Great job of not. He wasn't sure where he was. He fought for it, and he gets all the way down to the 24-yard line. That's a 19-yard gain on 4th and 4 to Williams from Murray. 3 trip receivers almost to the sideline on 1st and 10, but they hand it off to Coronado up the middle, and he'll get yardage to the 19, a gain of 5. Did you see where our receivers were lined up? Our trip receivers were lined up maybe a yard off. They're doing it again.
Yep.
And he got to the 20, a gain of 4. It was a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6. Again, trip receivers to the left, one to the right. And they are, again, near the sideline. Now they throw it out. Catch is made by Williams. He's going to lower the shoulder and get knocked out of bounds inside the 10. That time they use those blockers, but they use the sideline a little bit too. And usually that's the other way, but the offense used the sideline to get the first down to the 10. Very creative. Almost like you drew it up in the sand, but it worked really well.
Well, and we're getting good
Yes.
blocks, too. And Gatesville has no answer for this right now. We're doing it again.
It is, I think, first and goal from the 10. Murray to throw. He pulls it down. He looks to run. He's hit at the 10 and maybe lost a yard. I don't see the other yard marker, so I believe it was first and goal.
Yeah, we lost a yard.
And to the 10, to the 11. But it is going to be second and goal, so you can't get a first down. You got to get a touchdown. 9:48 to go. Clock runs here in the second quarter. 7-0. This has been a long drive. Started back at the Burnett 28-yard line. They're at the Gatesville 11. Coronado in the backfield with Rhett Murray. Trip receivers to the right, one to the left. That's Williams. Man goes in motion. Murray throws it. No, pulls it down. Now he gets rid of it to Pimentel. Pimentel looking for some room. A lot of defenders over there. He picks up a couple of yards to the 8. We'll give him 3. It'll bring up a third down and goal from the 8-yard line. He pumped it over there. Didn't think he was there. Then he got it back to Pimentel, but then there were defenders around to bring him down. Might look for that slant here. Williams is alone to the left. Again, now trip receivers very close to the sideline on the right side of the field, opposite of the Bulldog.
Only one defender over there, Mark. I'd throw it over there again.
Now the second defender comes up. Third and goal from the 8. They do throw it over there. They have blockers. Pushed out of bounds at the 5. Oh, that came very close. A lot of shoving after he's out of bounds, but see, they give him the 5 or the 4-yard line, and I believe we might be trying a field goal.
I like it. I want to see.
I do too. This is extra point range, and I think you want to find out. Again, Campos Huerta coming up, showed the big leg, but you're going to be times where a field goal, and like right now, it's fourth down and goal from the 4-yard line, spotted at the 11. 21-yard field goal attempt. Snap is back. Hold is good. Kick is on the way. Plenty of leg. 21-yard field goal for Marcos Campos Huerta. Bulldogs lead 10-0 with the 8:35 to go in the second quarter. We are at the top of the hour. You're listening to Burnett Bulldog Football on KMP in Burnett. All right, now you get 3 points, and I got a little more excited about 3 points than some, but you need to, because that was a good drive too, and you needed points on the board. You took time off. You started at your own 28. You didn't want to go away. It was fourth down and a good solid 4 yards to go. Get the points. You lead now by 2 scores, 10-0.
You know,
and you got to see him leg of Huerta in.
All of that, yeah. And you needed to capitalize on the defense's good play so far, and the getting stops and coming up empty every time, and it's just demoralizing a little bit. So it's good to put some points on the board when the defense is playing so well.
And does make it a 2-possession game. 8:34 to go in the second quarter. Bulldogs lead 10-0. Did we ever get to mention, that was something that was on my mind earlier? Something about last night there were games.
There was a game last night.
Let me get you this. Sorry, kickoff's about to happen. Then another kick. This one a little shorter. Air under it. Return from the 9-yard line by Gatesville at the 20. A little bit of room to the outside and pretty good return. They got a little seam. Going to be at about the 39-yard line. All right, so go ahead.
Yeah, the Badgers played last night against Waco University and ended up losing 28-21 to Waco University.
Their first loss of the season.
So a district opponent already having a game. And, in fact, I saw one of their coaches here tonight. Other district scores, Stephenville 24, Waco La Vega 7 at halftime. Brownwood is losing to China Spring 14-13 in the second quarter. And I'll get this play.
First and 10 from the 39 for Gatesville. They hand it off to Smith. He makes a cut inside and rumbles forward. And almost every player on the field, and that's still not stopped. They haven't blown the whistle. That was everybody but their quarterback was around. Both teams around Smith at the 49-yard line. He's going to pick up 10 yards and a first down, but every player.
Well, I mean, why not? Because on those pitch passes, the quarterback is the lead blocker.
Yes.
Which, again, you don't really see that very often anymore. No score in Marble Falls, Lavernia.
1st and 10 from the 49. Pistol formation. Looked like, again, strange play, but they do get it to Smith, and he finds room up the middle. 45-yard line on Burnett's side of the field, a gain of 6. The one thing is he keeps going like that. If you get it in a pile, that's when a ball could come out, and we certainly could try to use that to our advantage. 7:33 to go here in the first half, 10-0 Bulldogs lead. 2nd and 4 for the Hornets.
Yeah, I think the Gatesville coaches have decided that the offense is about to be Smith.
I think you're right.
Smith after Smith after Smith.
And I think there they got 2 backs on the left side. They hand it off to Smith that way, and he's going to get the first down. Again, we were trying to chase him down from behind. Smith's not taking quite as long either. That pursuit's been good, but he does get to the 39-yard line.
Well, and he's coming out, so he's done his job
6.
and picked up 2 first downs, so he's going to replace
Bulldogs,
himself.
let's see if we can take advantage of that right now. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of the Bulldogs. Clock runs, 6:55 to go first half, 10-0 Burnett. Pistol formation. They have a diamond formation in the backfield, and they're going to pitch it to the back, and he leans forward. I think that was 7 again. Yeah, Cy Burns, but he picks up 2. Again, it's just not the same thing, when you see him running in there, and as Smith checks back in. And now 11 green jerseys should go towards Smith.
Hit hard there on that play by Cason O'Hare.
Ball's at the 37. That was a gain of 2. 2nd and 8. Smith pistol formation. Now they again send the 2 backs to the left, and they're going to run it to the left to Smith, and he breaks a couple of tackles and pushes forward. He doesn't get the first down yet. He gets to about the 32. Yeah, 32. That's a gain of 5. And it's 2nd down and 3. 2nd and 3.
Well, the Bulldog defense has allowed some yardage here, but if they make a stand here, and there's only 5.5 minutes left in this half, they need to at least hold these guys to a field goal attempt.
And Smith has had to come out a couple times, and his hands are on his hips. That might be the one thing. You can wear him down. He's carrying the ball a lot. They hand it off to him again, and there's a hole up the middle, and you keep hitting him hard. He does get the first down to the 26-yard line.
I think you're right about that. They're not grabbing him and pulling him down. They're hitting him
yes.
and putting some
back,
helmets
yes.
on him, and it's got to take his toll.
It is. Well, I know. I mean, even in the backfield, he has his hands on his hip, and that body, it's not. I'm sure he's in incredible shape, but that still is takes toll on anybody. And he has checked out again. It's Burns in the backfield, pistol formation on first down. They hand it off to Burns, and he is quicker that time, and Bulldogs let him get a little seam, so Burns picks up 11, and he found a seam there. So he hit that hole much quicker, gets down to the 15-yard line. So they are trying to spell him a little bit, and Burns did a good job there of finding space. 1st and 10 for Gatesville at the 15. 4:37 clock runs. They are driving. Bulldogs, we got a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it. 4:35 to go. First half. Bulldogs 10, Gatesville nothing, but driving on BTXSportsOnline.com. Campion 95.9 FM.
Man, linemen don't get enough credit. Those dudes sacrifice their bodies by putting them in the way of linebacker locomotives. Also, someone else can score. But that's nothing compared to the ultimate blocker. Jesus, God's Son, sacrificed himself on a cross so we wouldn't have to pay for all the junk we've done that separates us from God. When you begin a relationship with him, he blocks the punishment that we all deserve for choosing our own way instead of his way. Why not start that relationship now by calling 888-NEED-HIM? Because you really do need him.
KMPN Burnett.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser. Game moving along quickly here. A lot of running. 10-0 Bulldogs lead, but Gatesville has it 1st and 10 at the Burnett 15. Smith will be in the backfield. Quarterback, Gary Keaton, in shotgun. Again, that pistol formation to start. Now they set
play.
up, move him to the left. High snap. Going to hand it off. Smith's in trouble in the backfield. Bulldogs need to get him down. He's still on his feet, and 7-8. He's not down yet. Bulldogs still in pursuit. And just a great job, and he's going to lose yardage back to about the 23. They couldn't get him down, but you didn't want to let him get away either, but they kept pushing him back, and he goes all the way back to the 24. That's a loss of 9. It's a mistake on his part, but I know he kept thinking he was going to find a way through, and it was a little scary that he might, but the Bulldogs, great pursuit.
Yeah, they boxed him in enough that he really had nowhere to go.
To the sideline, finally. Yep.
He definitely tried and ran about 30 yards to lose 9.
9 yards.
But great job by the defense.
Second down, and this is where they don't want to be. He has checked out. Burns in the backfield, pistol formation on second down and 19 from the 24.
Don't get surprised with a pass here.
Yep. You got to be ready. Snap. He is going to throw, and he has a man, and he misses it. Bulldogs were surprised. 30 came out in the flat, and I don't think we catch him if he gets the pass. But you put them into something they're not used to, and Bulldogs dodge it a little bit there, but 3rd and 19.
Yeah, the running back snuck out of the backfield on that and on a play action to number 7, and he was wide open, Mark. He just missed him, overthrew him.
So 3rd and 19 from the 24. That stopped the clock at 3:48.
Keaton is wishing he had that one again.
Yes, he does. Burns in the backfield, and then was it Burnett timeout? It is timeout. Burnett. Yeah, an update. So I'm sorry. Timeout on the field.
Really, okay. There's Lavernia has scored in the second quarter over Marble Falls 7-0.
Yeah, Marble Falls is their defense. They've scored some in some of the games, and they've had some, depending. They had some tough opponents and a couple opponents that really were defensively challenged. But their defense has been real strong. I think a bit of a surprise if you watch their games this year. So that's not too far away. District's coming up. We got a homecoming next week, but then district starts in 2 weeks, and there's no bye this year until the ninth week. So district is looming. Bulldogs trying to continue to get ready for it. They lead here 10-0. It's 3rd down. This is where you got them backed up. You don't want to give up something here when you've got them backed up at 3rd and 19 from the 24. Probably 2 downs. Burns is the running back. Keaton to throw. Has time. Throwing deep to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Pretty good coverage there. And it was going to take a good pass right at the back of the end zone. Incomplete, 4th down. Let's see what they do here. They're going to try a field goal.
They are. Quarterback is not on the field, is he?
4 is, and for the quarterback, he's going to be the holder. So, but 44 is on. Leonardo Leon is their kicker. That's a great kicker name. He's spotted at the 31. This is a 41-yard field goal attempt.
Do not jump.
On 4th and 19. Snap is back. Hold is good. And it's on its way, and no good. No good. Didn't get it there. But a 41-yard. I couldn't quite see how close it got. I know it didn't get there, and it's no good, but 41-yard field goal attempt, no good. So the Bulldogs keep the Hornets off the board.
You know, it went, I think it hit the pylon, Mark, the orange pylon below the goalpost.
It might have faded off a little bit there late. That's a long way, but he got a pretty good leg into it. But the main thing is the Bulldogs defense hold. They start at the 25-yard line. See if they can put points on the board. 3:41 to go, lead 10-0. Murray to throw. Look deep, not there now. He gets hit as he throws, and it's going to be incomplete.
Again, Margie's dancing around in the pocket, and that pocket collapses in a hurry on Murray, and I like the timing routes.
It is 2nd and 10, and I do want to bring up is I know that door being shut behind us means our special guest is going to be with us at halftime. Athletic Director Steve Hale. Great chance to get to interview him here in a little bit. Bulldogs trying to put some points on the board before that. Make everybody happy. Murray hands it off to Coronado, looking for room, breaks through a hole, still on his feet, pushes forward. Think just short of the first down. Gets to about the 32-yard line. That's a gain of almost, they give him eight. It'll be 3rd and 2. Clock runs at 3:18 to go in the first half. Bulldogs lead 10-0. Want to keep this drive going. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, short side of the field. Murray in shotgun, gets it, hands off to Coronado. He's patient. First down, past the 35 to the 37-yard line, a gain of 5, and moves the chains.
Nice job up front by Jonathan Ryder, taking out the defender.
Wouldn't it be nice to put some more points on here late?
Definitely would.
It's at the 37-yard line now for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Short side of the field. Murray to throw. Got to get rid of it. He does. Pass is caught. Stanford, I believe, past the 40 to about the 43-yard line. Colt Stanford. Nice job of just kind of stopping there, and Murray hit him. It'll make it 7. Bring up 2nd down and 3 at the 43-yard line, and they're moving quickly. Bulldogs back lined up. 2:42 clock runs in the first half. Handed off to Coronado up the middle. He's hit immediately. Not going to get the yardage, maybe a yard, if that. Yeah, they'll give him 1 to the 43. Another important 3rd down. I don't know if they gave him any gain. Probably not.
No, it doesn't look like it.
So it's at the 43, which then means it wasn't at the 42 all go. I was wrong one time or another, and we'll leave it there. 43-yard line. 2nd down and 4. A 3rd down now.
But we saw that same
third
formation,
down.
Mark, at trips on the sideline.
3rd and 4, yes. Trip receivers this time to the left, 1 to the right. On 3rd down, Murray sends a man in motion. That's Howell. He sets up, and then wasn't clock yet.
I think we continue to move the football and maybe simulate a snap. I think that's the only thing I can see on that, because nobody's moving. It's got to be the football.
Stepped off against the Bulldogs. Well, that makes it much tougher. Not sure about that, Mark. How did that get 5 yards out of that? They're back to the 38.
Yeah.
It's at the Burnett 38-yard line, and it's 3rd and 9. Yeah, that would be right. You're an English teacher. I'm not a math teacher. Leave me alone. 3rd and 9. Murray in shotgun. He has trip receivers bunched to the left. Coronado in the backfield. Clock is running, 1:39 to go on 3rd now and 9. 3rd and long for the Bulldogs. Murray's ready to go. Gets the snap back in the pocket. Gets rid of it. Pass is caught by Williams. Pass midfield. Still on his feet. Spin move. He goes down at about the 45-yard line into Gatesville territory. Big pickup. Let's see. That's 12 and 17 yards on 3rd down and long. They get to the Gatesville 45.
I think anytime you get the ball to Williams, Mark, is a good thing. He can break some tackles.
1st and 10 at the Gatesville 45. Murray in the pocket. Gets hit as he throws, and incomplete. Goes incomplete. He was looking to go deep there. I think maybe Pimental, but incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. 1:04 to go here in the first half. Bulldogs leading 10-0. Again, we'll have Athletic Director Steve Hale join us at halftime. Do appreciate that. So 2nd and 10. Bulldogs trying to put some points on the board here before the end of the second quarter. Murray in shotgun. Has to get rid of it, does, and it's caught by Pimentel. Bounces to the outside. He'll get the first down.
That's got to be a late hit.
Yes, and there it is. A flag going to be big yardage. It's tacked onto it as the ball – they're going to get down to the 32-yard line. That original is a 13-yard gain and looks like going to add 15 more yards to it. Man, the booth's getting exciting. This gets me fired up. Everybody in here, what you got to love. 55 seconds to go.
Well, things are going your way when you can get a tip.
I wanted to say it was tipped, wasn't it?
It was tipped.
Yeah, because he waited a long time, and then he got it, and
Pimentel caught that in stride. It came right to him.
And he had got the 12 yards. It's going to be moved all the way down to the 15, 16, 17-yard line.
Well, we know Campos Huerta has the leg, so if all else fails, we can try another field goal. But
diamond formation, 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Murray, he's going to pitch it. Pimentel's going to throw, and he has to end up throwing it away. It was a pitch to Pimentel, who was one of the backs in the diamond formation, and you could see he was going to throw all the way, but they did stay with it and had coverage downfield. Smart play by Pimentel. Just throw it out of bounds, and a flag at the end of the play.
That's why it's always a good idea to run that play to your second-string quarterback.
Yeah, so I had a
late
flag.
Have an illegal man downfield, maybe.
So let's see here. 51 seconds.
Wow. They're going to call intentional grounding. He's out of the pocket.
He was out of the pocket.
He throws it out of bounds.
Past the line of scrimmage. But they pitched to him. I mean, so he ran, almost by – he had to be outside the pocket, but – that is going to be the call. That was the call.
I think they're making that one up.
All right, so let's see. It moves it back to the 20 or at the 20.
We might need to
spot.
That might be the first question you ask Coach Hale. He probably knows if that's intentional grounding or not.
They move it back to the 25. It is now 2nd down and long, 2nd and about 17. Murray rolls. Throws it out. Catch is made by Williams at about the 13. Pushed out of bounds. 45 seconds. Let's see. He gets to the 13. That's a gain of 12. And that will bring up a second. That's now 3rd down now. 3rd down. And they need to get to, looks like, about the 7-yard line. So still need about 10 yards. Am I seeing that? Not quite that. 8? Or do they get
8 or 9? 8? I tell you, I've been impressed with Murray's accuracy on the sideline.
Yes, you're right.
Right there every time.
Okay, it's at the 13. It's 2nd and about 6, okay? 2nd, 6. Trip receivers to the right. Murray, and then we're going to have a timeout, Gatesville. We're going to go ahead and take this. We come back. We got 45 seconds to go in the first half. Bulldogs lead 10-0 on BTX Sports Online, KMPN 95.9 FM.
Here's Pastor Jeff Shreve with some real hope.
Let me ask you a question. What are your weaknesses? You know, we all have weaknesses. We don't like them, but they're still there. Some are weak when it comes to physical appetites and the lust of the flesh. Others are weak when it comes to the issues of jealousy, anger, pride, or greed. But here's the good news. Whatever your weakness, the Lord Jesus doesn't excuse it, but he does understand it, because he was tempted in all things as we are. The big difference is this: he never succumbed to the temptation, not even once. And because he never sinned, he is our perfect sacrifice, who has made a way for you and me as sinners to draw near to a holy God and receive his grace that will help us in our time of need and in our time of weakness. Listen, take time each day to thank the Lord for his love, because it is true and it's everlasting. Now that's real hope.
Find real hope in Jesus Christ. Visit FromHisHeart.org.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser, back with you live. Bulldog Field here in Burnett, Texas. Bulldogs lead 10-0, looking for more. It is going to be a 3rd down and about 6 for the Bulldogs. They're at the Gatesville 13-yard line. 45 seconds to go. Both teams have timeouts, so not plenty of time. It is 3rd down and 6. We've got trip receivers bunched to the left, short side of the field. Pistol formation, Laidler. But now they go to the diamond formation. Kasner, Pimentel in the backfield. Pimentel back to, it was number 8. It's a touchdown. It was 8. Who was that quarterback? David Prather. He got it to number 11, Pimentel, who throws it back to Prather in the end zone for the 13-yard touchdown. You got to be kidding me. Bulldogs lead 16-0 with the extra point to come. If you're going to do that stuff, you need to tell the broadcaster beforehand. Had nowhere to go, but it worked for the Bulldogs score. If you're going to trick us, at least trick Gatesville too. Great job and well executed. Campos worked to attempt the extra point, and then we can talk more about that. So a kick is on the way, and it's good. I'm so flustered I don't even know how to call it. Extra point, 17-0. Coach Kaiser, you explain what just happened there. There was all kinds of moving parts, but in the end, a touchdown, extra point. Bulldogs put big points on the board before half, lead 17-0 with 38 seconds to go.
Well, we've seen that kind of trickery from the Bulldogs before. We saw it last year with Coach Wood, and it was just a simple handoff to Marcus Pimentel, number 11, and so the flow goes to the right. Well, one of the receivers snuck out, and Gatesville had a defender close, but what a perfect pass from Marcus. Put it right on the money.
But Prather was at quarterback. I didn't even know that part of it. I mean, that got me all. I thought it was Murray, but it was Prather who went out.
Oh, it was Prather. You're right. You're right. Exactly right.
He's
one that caught it. Well, we saw that
he was
last
in the
year
quarterback position
with Marcus running the quarterback and throwing it back to him.
Oh, goodness. Thanks, Mr. Evans next door. Appreciate Brandon Evans and his support. I don't need a lot of oxygen, just a little bit. I'll slow down here at halftime. Coach Hale's going to talk. It'll be okay.
Well, I'm with you. To score with 38 seconds to go in the half, what a huge play for the Bulldogs.
Huge. 38 seconds. Bulldogs will kick off here.
And a great drive.
It was. Started at their own, that was 25. Kickoff, going to return from the 4-yard line to the 20. Hit there, maybe to the 24. Good coverage downfield.
Well, that
was
hard.
A 75-yard touchdown drive.
We're hitting hard tonight, Mark. It's the Bulldogs have come to play.
So with 38 seconds, Bulldogs take a 17-0 lead. Right now, you just don't want to let anybody behind you, but you might still. Let's see if Smith's in here at this point. Yeah, he is in there. That might still be a bigger worry because you want to force them to pass. They have not been good in that tonight. Defense has been great. They're going to hand it off to Smith, and he's up the middle and get him down, and they do pass the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Smith with the carry. Clock runs. 20 seconds to go first half. See if they run another play. They huddle up. 17-0. They do get to the line of scrimmage. Again, Smith in pistol formation. Looks to the sideline, does the quarterback Keaton. He is going to pitch it to Smith. Last play of the half. Smith still on his feet. Get him down, and the Bulldogs do, which they've done well all night. And there is halftime. A great first half of football for the Bulldogs. We're going to take a short break. We come back. We're going to talk to Athletic Director Steve Hale. Big cheer from the Bulldogs faithful tonight on senior night. Well-deserved. Bulldogs lead 17-0 over the Gatesville Hornets on BTXSportsOnline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM.
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
I never knew my biological father and always had an unfulfilled longing made worse by my drunken stepfather who beat me and my older sister. When I was 5, a favorite uncle abused me, so I didn't trust men after that. Mama was consistently loving, but we moved so often I had to repeat the 3rd grade, adding to my feeling of failure. We finally settled near Atlanta when I was 14 and attended church. I made a profession of faith, but we moved when I started high school. I wanted to be accepted and started smoking pot with friends, and I became promiscuous in the 11th grade, the same year my stepdad left us. I quit school, then was laid off, so I got my GED, joined the Army, and became a military policeman based in Germany. While in Germany, I went with friends to hear an evangelist in Brussels and again felt God's convictions. But I left the Army after 2 years, went home, and started college. I worked hard and did well. My sister persuaded me to go to Florida, where we hung out in bars, and I ended up pregnant. Mom urged me to get an abortion, something that still haunts me. Then I rejoined the Army and went back to Germany, where I met Glenn. We married, and God made beauty for ashes in my life when Jesus set me free of the past and gave me a new life. I'm Eve Williamson. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, or maybe you have questions about it, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org.
Mark Edmonds sitting back here live at halftime. Bulldogs lead 17-0 over the Gatesville Hornet. Gatesville band taking the field. The Esprit de Corps will be on in a little bit, getting ready for, I believe they have a contest tomorrow, so lots of things going on. Do appreciate it, and really excited to be joined by Athletic Director, first year at Burnett, Steve Hale. And I've got to tell you, I've got to hear you speak a couple of times, and I've just been excited to get a chance to talk to you. Just you're inspirational, and so not putting too much pressure on you there. but absolutely been looking forward to it. First, a little football. As a longtime football coach, good first half for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. It's an honor to be here. Excited about Burnett. But, yeah, a great first half. As a head football coach, and Ben's doing a great job. You want to win all the games you're supposed to win, and then you want to win maybe one or two that you're not supposed to win on paper. And our kids are playing their tails off right now, and I'm really excited about the second half,
Yeah, a lot of energy, and that's what they need, and it's showing here tonight.
A lot of energy, and they're one-dimensional. They got a great back. Our defense is playing very well. Our offense has been very explosive. That was a big score right before the half.
Absolutely.
Because now when you get a team that runs the ball, and like I said, they are one-dimensional, and we have a three-possession game right now, and now it comes down with a little clock management.
We get the ball to start the second half.
We get the ball. Yep. We don't want to be conservative, but it's going to come down to possessions.
Absolutely.
So if we can continue to hold on this lead going into the fourth quarter and let our kids finish, that's one thing we haven't been great at this year is finishing with a young team. But this is what Coach told them to do in the locker room. We need to finish, take this thing to another level, get better tonight. And I think we've gotten better this first half.
Yeah. And District Lumen is not far away. Hard to believe we're already in Game 5. Well, I appreciate that. And first I want to kind of let you speak. I want to ask, but I'm going to ask an open question. I want you to talk because you do it so well. And you just, again, you just share just about yourself and your journey here so well. But tell us a little bit how you got to Burnett. You and your wife were here at the school, and so welcome in your first year. But how'd you get to Burnett?
Lana and I are very excited about doing this. This is 31 years for me, and I came from my hometown. So I've been there twice, and the last move going back there, the community really wanted me to be there. I'm known for turning programs around. All these coaches have their special gifts. Mine is to rejuvenate programs and run a total all program. And so when this job came open, I, as a high school football coach and athletic director, and looking out there and seeing the great tradition and just the community support here is amazing. When you look at what we have to offer and the pride and all the things, I really knew that I'd made the right move with all the support. When convocation, when I looked at all the community and all the people that poured into our teachers and our kids and just all the great things. So I wanted to come, and 31 years experience, and knew that we had a young staff and a new superintendent, and very excited about him and to come in here and just take us to another level and allow us to be consistent year to year. And so, it's been a great move for Lana and I. We're both excited about being here.
Well, I taught here 31 years.
Yeah.
I retired 2 years ago. I still broadcast the last couple of years. Just to let you know a little bit, and those out there that might be joining us each year. And I try to talk because I think it's important. We know why we're here, where we come from. But one of the things that you had to notice, and I did. We had a bond a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
And you put a lot. You look. We step out here, and anytime money's spent, there's always those questions, and it's always going to be that way. But it was important. I know I voted for it at the time because, you saw the reasons why. We have this beautiful facility next door to us here.
Unreal.
This new press box. And and that is a facility used by all different parts of the programs, from esprit de corps, when it rains. But that's got to, I have to imagine when you looked and saw some of the things you saw that, as you talked about, matter to this community and we can move forward.
Yeah, for me, what I want to do is all about provision. I want to make sure our kids are taken care of. And this community is taking care of these kids with unbelievable facilities. I've been at places. I just left Hillsboro, and my last project was to get our field turf. It had been grass since I went to high school there. And so we came in and did that and knocked down old concession stands and bathrooms and built a nice facility. So looking here, and it's like the commitment's already been here. And just the proximity of all the great facilities we have, and the middle school and the high school, and our kids being able to get from place to place without busing them.
Right.
These kids are very blessed. This community's done a great job of setting our kids up for success. And that's the thing that a lot of times it's about keeping up with the Joneses. But that multi-purpose facility that serves everybody, from the band to every sport, it is unreal.
It's got a baseball, softball field on it. I didn't know when I got to tour it.
People talk about that. The one thing I want to do is coming in here is make sure all kids are getting the strength and conditioning. That weight room is one of the best weight rooms I've seen in high school athletics or even D2, D3. It's unreal. And it's real functional, and our coaches are doing a great job of using that. So, yeah, we got all the pieces put together right now to continue to take this thing to the next level.
It's halftime. Bulldogs lead 17-0. This is a really great first half for the Bulldogs. Gatesville band on the field. Bulldogs, the esprit de corps will come on again. Have a contest tomorrow, so it's that time of the year. And again, it was senior night. All the senior parents out. Great to see. And you talk about that support, but again, coming new to the community, you've obviously seen that. But that's got to mean so much to anybody in administration, but with athletics or whatever it may be. I don't know, your roles carry outside of just athletics, but that has to be important because if not, you couldn't do your job.
Without a doubt. It's all about support, and you want to come in and look at what the priorities are of this district and this community. Community loves kids, and me coming in, I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. Look and see and everything. Like you said, the facilities are in place. Got great tradition here. But what I do bring is a lot of experience, 31 years of doing this at a lot of different places. And so when I looked and seen the opportunity to come to do this and look at, I was real excited about Coach Spear. I knew, that the head football coach, Coach Wood, was retiring, and Coach Jones and Coach Spear being a first-year coach. And I think that's what it's all about, is giving back. And he's done a great job. And I think my whole role is just to support our coaches. I want to come in and support our coaches, be that, the encouragement and support them, and then, of course, to hold everybody to, the high standard of accountability. And we've got that here.
Yeah, and, you are this sports program, as you say, Bill, but strong girls program.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a little different for a 4A school, which I think is very impressive, too, to give that ability. An athletic director, often tied to a head coach, but over the last number of years it hasn't been, gives some opportunity to really be a broader spokesman for everything. And I think that's got to be an important role for you, and that's got to feel good to be able to do that.
It is, Mark. 4 years ago I stepped out of football. And I was brought to Hillsboro to coach football and be the athletic director. But they also know, as a head football coach, the biggest perception you have to defend is that you only care about football. And so there was a mentor of mine that came out of Burnett, and I met her in Hillsboro in 1998, Coach Lynn Jansen. And when we got to Hillsboro in 1998, it was us to consolidate all of our coaches and coach all the kids the same. And so we've always continued to do that. But when I got to Hillsboro the first couple of years, I thought we struggled a little bit on the girls' side. So I stepped out of the football role, and I also was really motivated to be able to coach my daughter. I got to coach my son, who's a high school football coach right now in Abilene. My wife is a diag, and us get to work together has been great. But that's what I wanted to do, is to support all groups. So even when I stepped out, I still try to go to all athletic periods and encourage the kids and coaches. And I've coached the last 4 years. I mean, I've coached track. I get in there in the off season, and just be able to love on all kids. So this was a role that was familiar to me to be able to do that. I was really excited about Coach Shipley stepping over in the girls coordinator and her working side by side, and just from the 7th grade to 12th grade to build a program that we hold our kids. It's all about character first, and then it's about academics, because we want to give them something to do when athletics is over with. They all have their dream of being a great college athlete or professional, but realistically we know that only 2% of those are going to get that opportunity. And so that's where we start with is, to get the potential out of them as an athlete, and then prepare them to be successful as a citizen. I mean, that's what the whole program,
I don't want to keep you too much on, but I got one as the Gatesville band about to, exit the field. 17-0 here, BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM. Right, Mark Edmondson, along with the athletic director, Burnett CISD, Steve Hale. Do appreciate it. And you touched on it a little bit, but it's important for me, and because I know when you're at that role at an administrative level, a vision's important, and and I've heard you talk a little bit about it, and I know you touched on it there a little bit, but maybe expand a little more. What's your vision? What is it 2-3 years down the road that can make Burnett take that next step?
I think the main priority is for our kids to be successful. That's my goal, and that might not be seen until 10 years after graduation. So when you get a bunch of coaches that love kids like we do here, and we buy into giving them an opportunity to develop as an athlete and to be successful in that, and then to carry it on to the next level, that's the vision. That's never loses focus of that. I've been able to be blessed and win a lot of championships along the way. The greatest accomplishment for me is to look down the road and see many kids that I have coached that are coaching right now that are successful, husbands and wives and all that stuff. That's the vision. But for them to get there, we've got to run once again, like I said, what I believe a consistent athletic program that demands high character and work ethic. And to learn, kids are different today. So we've got to teach kids how to overcome adversity. And that's what we're going to see tonight. We played a perfect half right now. But when we have a little struggle, and I'd say that we're going to struggle a little bit, how are we going to respond then? That's what we're trying to teach these kids right now, and that's the vision is for us to be successful, to love one another. The greatest accomplishment any of us can say about one another is we're a great teammate. So all of our programs are about team. We have to make sure our parents understand that. It's not just about little Johnny; it's about the whole team and getting them to buy in. The parents have been great. A lot of parent support, unbelievable administrative support from the board down. Dr. Pena's done a great job, and I'm real excited about what we're going to continue to do, not only the rest of the year, but, on until I decide to step out of this thing. 31 years, but one of the little girls down there, she said, Coach, are you hyped up? And I said, yes. She said, you're always hyped up. I said, yeah. I bring a lot of energy. I love what I do, and I just want to be a part of this great program and continue to support our kids and our coaches, and I think there's great things for this community to come.
Well, I want to say, because when you came in the booth and you were right in the game from the beginning, which I love. And matter of fact, I probably got a little more pumped up because you were, as big plays happen, you're supposed to get excited. Yeah. I don't know what else you're supposed to do. Your team is.
Mark, that was one of the clauses in my contract. Every contract is I'm going to be on the field. I'm never not going to be on the field. I've got to be down there in new action. I love being a part of that. There's nothing like Friday night football in the state of Texas. This community does an unbelievable job of supporting that, and so it's great to be in the booth, but I just can't turn that off. I just love watching it and just get excited about the kids and being a part of that. There's nothing better on Friday nights.
I understand. I've talked about it over the years. I get excited on big plays and stuff, and there are times I think, I don't want to be a caricature, but I'm not faking it. When I get excited, I'm excited, and that's what I'm gonna do.
You do an unbelievable job, and I thank you for being the voice of this and running our Meet the Bulldog night, and it's just great. That's what I've always said, and that's why I love working with you. I want to be around people that share the same passion as I do. And it's very obviously you love these kids and love what you're doing, and you're great at it.
Well,
so
I
I appreciate you allowing me to spend a couple minutes with you in here. It's been great.
No, that's why I wanted you to come up here, and we did. And Coach Kaiser, we had talked about it and wanted you to be here because we want to hear it, but people out there listening, they want to hear it, and it is a great message, and I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, man.
You're welcome. Don't leave just yet.
Okay.
I want to take a break and just sit here for a minute, I'll say goodbye to you. But the Esprit de Corps on the field, getting ready for competition in full dress now and looking great, as always, doing a tremendous job. We're at halftime. Bulldogs will get the second half kickoff. They lead 17-0 over the Gatesville Hornets on KMPN 95.9 FM and BTX Sports Online. .com.
What do you focus on most? Is it making a lot of money or wearing a size 6 dress? Maybe it's closing the big deal or finding the perfect spouse. Has this desire started to control you? If so, then you're not alone. Once Jesus was visiting the home of 2 women named Mary and Martha. Mary spent her time with Jesus talking and learning, while Martha stayed busy and flustered in the kitchen preparing a meal. Often, we are kept so busy by what we think is important that we miss what really matters. In this case, the chance for deep, abiding fellowship with Jesus. God doesn't want your effort without your heart. He wants a relationship with you. The Bible tells us we are saved by faith through God's grace. If you want to learn what it means to have that type of faith and trust Jesus as your Lord and Savior, then call or text us at 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us at chataboutjesus.com. Learn how to sit at the feet of Jesus and find all you are seeking.
Charles Dickens wrote the famous words, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." Those same words could be used to describe America today. We see amazing progress in areas of communications, science, and medicine, yet at the same time, we are a hurting culture that has rising suicide rates, a staggering number of drug overdoses, and a growing mental health crisis. We see more hate crimes, continued racial disharmony, and a growing lack of civility for others. When Jesus came into the world, there were some similar challenges. There was oppression, excessive taxation, class wars, and rampant social problems. But it was this time in history that gave us the best news ever. Jesus Christ took the sin of the world and offers every person something that is truly beautiful and undeserved. If you want to learn more about beginning a personal relationship with Jesus, then call or text us at 888-NEED-HIM.
Everybody talks about peace in the world, but have you noticed that there never seems to be any? In fact, few people seem to have any peace in their lives. I'm Mary Welchel, and Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me." Knowing God and finding peace with God is possible only through Jesus Christ, His Son. And you come to God through Christ by confessing your sinful condition and accepting the redemption that Jesus purchased for you when He willingly gave His life on the cross. The Bible says you come to God by faith, believing in Jesus as your Savior. That's how you'll find peace for your life. If you'd like to speak to someone right now about finding peace through a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, call 888-NEED-HIM. That's 888-NEED-HIM.
This is Word to the Wise with Dr. William Blocker, President of the College of Biblical Studies.
A site outside a monastery read, "Stop air pollution. Keep your mouth shut." Proverbs 13:3 tells us, "The one who guards his mouth preserves his life. The one who opens wide his lips comes to ruin." If your mouth has ever been guilty of emitting too many pollutants, here is a word to the wise. Ask the Lord to set the filter of His Holy Spirit over your heart and mind so that your speech honors Him, edifies others, and ultimately preserves your life. The Holy Spirit will use His Word as a spiritual catalytic converter so you and those around you can breathe deeply without choking on your words.
Word to the Wise with Dr. William Blocker is a service of the College of Biblical Studies. For more information, contact us at 713-77-BIBLE or cbshouston.edu.
Welcome to Breakpoint, a daily look at an ever-changing culture through the lens of unchanging truth. For the Colson Center, I'm John Stonestreet. This summer, the U.S. Senate passed a pair of bills, the Kids Online Safety Act, or KOSA, and the Children's and Teens Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA 2.0. Each one garnered major bipartisan support, passed by an overwhelming margin of 91-3. If the bills are passed by the House, they'll be the first major legislation aimed at protecting kids online in over 2 decades. The laws passed that were originally intended to govern the internet were passed about 20 years ago. These laws were mostly aimed at things like email exchanges and could never have anticipated the kind of scope and scale of technology we have today. Not only is the internet used for everything from delivering groceries to running a business, it's the epicenter of our worst addictions, from social media to pornography, with algorithms that are incredibly effective at keeping people online. And heavy screen time has proven especially harmful for young people, with effects as varied as shortened attention spans, sleep problems, body image issues, depression, bullying, gambling addictions, and other addictions, not to mention weird tics. Parents are left to themselves to protect their children online, with somewhere between little help and outright animosity from the tech companies. CEO of the National Center on Sexual Exploitation, Dawn Hawkins, has noted, and I quote, "The parental controls that are there do not work. They've designed these platforms without parents in mind," end quote. Now, as current law stands, social media platforms, websites, and the companies that own them are not legally accountable for what happens to kids while on their sites. Despite the additional pressures placed on these tech companies in recent years, there is not any real incentive to keep children off their sites. Less kids means less money, both now and in the future. On the other hand, despite the now obvious harms, young people also have little incentive to pull themselves away from what are their primary social and communication homes. As Jonathan Haidt has argued, today's situation represents a kind of collective action problem. Many people stand to benefit by collectively coming offline. However, if only one person or a small group of people choose that course of action, well, it's not beneficial to them, but costly. And to be restricted from or to opt out of social media today comes at a great social cost for individual tweens and teens. The vast majority of their peers own smartphones by age 12. The only way forward is a kind of collective action, so that the health benefits of turning off screens outweigh the social cost. And that's where KOSA and COPPA 2.0 can be helpful. As currently written, KOSA makes tech companies liable for the harms caused to minors on their platforms based on the platform's design, and also makes them responsible for creating tools that safeguard minors while on their platforms, like protecting privacy, limiting autoplay videos and personalized recommendations, and blocking the distribution of unlawful materials. And COPPA 2.0 is also a strong step towards incentivizing collective action. COPPA 1.0, passed back in 1998, prohibited the collection of personal information from kids 13 and under. COPPA 2.0 raises this to any minor 17 and under. That's important because companies use this personalized information for targeted advertising, and that keeps kids online. Of course, these bills can never replace good parenting and collective community actions. Parents have to be present with their teens, often and in between them and their screens. They also must push their schools, homeschool groups, and other educational alternatives to unplug together. For the Colson Center, I'm John Stonestreet with Breakpoint. Today's Breakpoint was co-authored by Jared Hayden. And for more resources to live like a Christian, visit breakpoint.org.
Need some real hope? Here's Pastor Jeff Shreve.
Sin is like a lonely little cancer cell. It always starts out small, but it never stays small. It grows from a single drink to a full-blown alcohol addiction, from fooling around to premarital sex and an unwanted pregnancy. Listen, people don't fall into terrible, horrible sin all at once. They just crack open the door to a little sin, and little by little that sin leads them to devastation that will wreck and ruin their lives. Now, God warns us in Ephesians chapter 4, do not give the devil a place. What do you do when Satan knocks at your door with a harmless little sin? Just say no. The sin he brings with him does have temporary pleasure, but that temporary pleasure leads to lasting pain. The Lord has come to give us a life overflowing with love and joy and peace, and it is in Jesus where you will find real hope.
And you can find that real hope when you visit FromHisHeart.org.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live here at halftime. It is the Bulldogs leading 17-0. They will get the second half kickoff, and you have stats.
It's been a fun half of football, Mark. The plays have been pretty well balanced between run and pass, and so starting on the ground, you have Kastner doing most of the work. 12 carries for 51 yards and 1 touchdown. Laidler has 1 carry for 2 yards, and Murray had 1 for -1. And Murray has thrown 18 passes, completed 13 for 113 yards. The 1 touchdown through the air, however, comes from Marcus Pimentel on the trick play inside the 10-yard line. No, from the 13, yeah. And so for a 13-yard touchdown to Prather, who was the one that started at quarterback, and
His
he
second
catches
touchdown of the year.
And he catches that pass. So 1 touchdown reception for Prather for 13. Also through the air, we've seen some really impressive catches and runs after the catch from number 5, Williams. He has 3 catches for 46 yards. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, and they were some really in that drive. They kept it going, and a couple of real important, a 3rd or 4th down.
Yep.
I mean, really important ones.
Howell has 1 catch for 8. Pimentel, 3 catches for 15. Stanford, 2 catches for 10. And Kastner, 1 for 6.
Bulldogs will get the second half kickoff, so it'll be an important first drive. The Bulldogs lead 17-0, but we have a long way to go. Again, thanks to Steve Hale, athletic director of Burnett CISD, for coming in. Great to get to talk to him. Awesome to hear him. Again, you can hear us on btxsportsonline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM, and again, our audio feed going through the video feed of the Burnett Athletic YouTube channel with, of course, our own Damon Byerly right here beside us, and keeping he's the funny one in the group, I think. I think if we had to say the 3 of us here, Damon is the one with the most humor. Because earlier, Coach Kaiser tried to show his sense of humor and didn't really work very well.
It doesn't.
Yeah, except when you said it, everybody laughed at me. So
it doesn't hurt. Well, my humor is usually directed towards someone. To make me feel better about myself. Now, talking about some football real quick here, I'm thinking that Gatesville, you've got to be ready for something sneaky here because they've got to change the way things are going.
Yeah, you're right.
And so you wouldn't be surprised if you saw some kind of pooch kick, some kind of an onside kick here.
They need to change the momentum. They know that it has been all Bulldogs in that first half, lead 17-0. And we're ready to go. Thank you for joining us. Game number 5, Bulldogs at 2-2. Gatesville at 3-1. Half to go. Let's get a good, strong second half as homecoming comes up next week. And in 2 weeks, it'll be district play. It is teed up at the 40-yard line, waiting for the signal from the official.
They've given it.
They have, and it is a pooch kick. Going to be returned from the 32-yard line by the Bulldogs and up to past the 35 to the 37 or 38. I wasn't quite sure. It was the up. I believe that Park.
10.
Like Trevin Park with the return. And he got to the 38-yard line. So not bad field position to start the first drive, leading 17-0.
Giving the Bulldogs back the football and starting this half. Let's see if we can continue to build on what we finished with.
Coronado, I'm sorry, how many yards did he have in that
51.
Good first half rushing. He's in the backfield in a pistol formation now to the left of Murray on 1st and 10. And they are going to hand it off to Coronado, and not much there. Kind of lunges forward for a yard to the 39, where it'll be 2nd down and 9. And Coach Hale mentioned this as we talked about the first half some. They can expect that you're going to have some adversity in the second half. How did the Bulldogs handle it? But they have the lead, and you want to be able to it's about control now. You don't want to play conservative, but the possession is now, it's in your favor with that 17-0 lead. 2nd down and 9, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. To throw, Murray gets it out, and catch is made. Williams was trying to set his feet to get away, but it seemed like he really couldn't get good footing. and he gets up to the 42, so not going to get the first down, a gain of 3. Bring up third down and long, third and about 7 or 7.
I agree with you, Mark. You don't want to be too conservative. You want to continue to try to score. You're going to need some more points, I think, in this football game. I don't think Gatesville's done.
Trip receivers to the right on third and long, third and 7. Murray, Coronado to his left. Man goes in motion, Williams. But they are going to throw in the slant. Pimentel can't make the catch, and it was in his hands. He takes a tough hit there, but it is going to be 4th down. So Gatesville comes up with a stop on the first possession. Bulldogs to start the third quarter. And again, we can just go back a week. The Bulldogs offense did not play well in the second half last week. So, you've got to keep that going. But right now they're going to have to punt it away and put the defense on the field. Ladler back to punt.
I think the team, with the lead, you'd want to avoid a huge mistake.
Later, snap is back. He does get the kick away. Takes a good Burnett bounce at about the 20. Going to go inside the 15. Nice job of flipping the field there. And it'll be down to the 13. Ladler with a good punt.
Really good punt. That's a nice job.
It was directional away a bit towards the sideline, then took that good bounce and had some air under it to give some time coverage to get down the field. Now let's see if the defense, I think they do mark it at the 14-yard line at Gatesville. It'll be 1st and 10. I'm sure, let's see. That's not Smith, is it? I don't think he does start in the backfield. Keaton at quarterback. And they hand it off to Burns, 7. And, he showed some burst of quickness earlier, and they might be, as Smith is coming in from the sideline now. So they get about 7 yards, though, on that first carry. Burns with it to the 21-yard line.
Yeah, Burns might not get enough credit. He's a pretty good running back himself.
Smith is back in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left. A couple of minutes gone here in the third quarter, 9:52 and counting. They're going to pitch it to Smith, and he can't pull away. Good job of holding on. It was down at the legs and feet, but the defender kept on to him. He does think, no, he did get the first down. Thought he was going to just get enough, but no, it's going to be a 3rd down and 1 at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, it's close. I think this game, the rest of this game is going to be about putting the ball in Keaton's hands and making him make plays, just like it was really in the first half. But the defense has done a good job with Smith.
Burns is back in at pistol formation, and they hand it off to him, and he'll get the first down. He lunges forward to about the 28-yard line. Now, the only good news with this, I will say, you're up 17-0. You don't want to give up a quick score, but the main thing, even if they drive and use a lot of time, that can play into your favor. You're not wanting the big play to give them.
Again, right. You don't want to make the big mistake.
1st and 10. And Gatesville, they have shown they've made some mistakes if you force them into it. 1st and 10. They're going to pitch it to Burns. Again, Burns with the carry, trying to bounce to the outside. And definitely a little quicker back and moving through the line. And he'll pick up yards to about the 35, actually to the 35-yard line. A gain of 7. 2nd down and 3. So he's done that on his last 2 first downs, picked up 7 yards. He will stay in at the back. 2 receivers to the left. Keaton looks to the sideline. 2nd down and 3 for the Hornets at their own 35. Pitch it to Burns, this time to the left side. Missed tackles. Bulldogs had a chance to get him down at least before the first down, but he's going to pick it up. He moved his way to the 39, a gain of 4. 1st and 10.
Yeah, that's Noah Billick trying to battle that offensive lineman and really getting held a little bit, but
he was trying to fight through that. Smith comes in. 1st and 10 for the Hornets at the 39. Going to pitch it to Smith, the right side, and he does find some room up the middle. Thank you, Coach Messer.
It took him a while.
Yeah. Hey, busy senior night. I understand that. 9 yards to the 40. They give him the first down? Yes, they did. So gave him 10 yards on the carry. Second down and 10 from the Gatesville 49. So Gatesville driving, trail 17-0. 7:15. Clock runs here in the third quarter. Keaton pitches it again to Smith. Smith, good job of corralling him after a couple of yards. 2-yard gain to the other 49. He goes from 49 to 49. Now on the Burnett, almost closer to the 50, but on the Burnett side of the field. Second down and a long 8.
That time Chris Kastner getting through the block to make the tackle.
And this isn't exciting football, but this is what the Bulldogs, you'd like to get them off the field, but right now, again, as long as you're forcing them to really have to work for it. Second down and 9. Pitches it to Burns this time, and he's hit quickly, and good job of getting a little more. Don't get in the Bulldogs, a little scuffling going on. I like the leadership there. It looked like some of the Bulldogs made sure other Bulldogs weren't going to get into something that you don't want a penalty there. Absolutely. Now it's 3rd and 7 after a short gain, about 1 yard on the play. Well, up to the 48.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Mark. As the Gatesville linemen continue to go a little bit longer, and Bulldogs helped each other out there.
3rd down and 7 at the Burnett 48-yard line.
Gatesville's putting together a pretty good drive.
But has run a lot of clock. We're under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Smith in the pistol formation on 3rd and long, and they called a timeout. They had some movement over there, but timeout. We're going to go ahead and take a 30-second here. 5:47 to go, third quarter, 17-0. Bulldogs lead on BTX Sports Online and top of the hour, KMPN Burnett.
If you've ever watched any of the talent shows on television, you see people doing almost anything for attention. What are you doing to get noticed? Whose attention are you seeking? Will that really fulfill you? There is one person that changes all of that, and it's Jesus. He loves you and has a hope and purpose for your life. If you want to learn to have a personal relationship with Jesus, then call or text us at 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us online at chataboutjesus.com.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live here in Burnett, Texas, Bulldog Field. Bulldogs trying to go to 3-2. They lead 17-0 over the Gatesville Hornets. It will be 3rd down and about 7 for Gatesville on senior night here in Burnett.
I think Gatesville coaches saw something they didn't like there, Mark, and I don't know, it looks to me like right before the snap of the ball, the quarterback is moving a little bit, and maybe they were trying to avoid that.
3rd down and 7.
Big play.
Pistol formation, Smith behind Keaton. Keaton to throw. And out in the flat, catch is made at about the 41-30 made the catch. That is, let's see, number 30, Braden Saunders. Does give them a first down to the 41. Gain of 7.
Yeah, probably Keaton's best throw of the night.
So they continue the drive. Clock stopped as they went out of bounds. 1st and 10 for Gatesville at the Burnett 41. Pistol formation with Smith behind the quarterback. Going to pitch it to Smith. Again, Smith is drugged down, though. No gain. Good job of getting off of the block on the outside by the end there on the left side. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
I think Stanford was in on that as well. May have been the first one to him.
Might have been there.
Yep, first one to him to hold on until he got help from his teammates.
So 2nd and 10 from the 41.
Noah Billick in on that, and he's having a good night defensively, Mark.
Smith again behind Keaton. Man goes in motion for the Hornets. Keaton hands it off the left side to Smith, and he is met, nowhere to go by 2, 3, 4 Bulldogs. And I think he'll lose a yard to the 42. He does. It'll bring up 3rd down and 11. Great job.
Just a super job by the defensive line. You've got Holden Valdez, a big part of that tackle there.
Coach Messer doing a fine job of sending an illustration of just how I look in the booth. Thank you for that. 3rd and 11, so they were able to convert on their last third down. Smith's out, so Burns is in the pistol formation, but you got to think they're going to throw it here. 3rd and long. Keaton, he looks to throw left side and incomplete, and he just underthrew that nowhere close to the receiver, and it'll bring up 4th down and 11. They're at 41-yard line. They're down by 17. We're at 4 minutes. A lot of clock is run off here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason that their offense is staying on the field.
It makes sense. So 4th and 11. Again, Burns, the running back behind Keaton. And Bulldogs want to use a timeout. They wanted to make sure everybody's on the same page. We're going to keep it here. 4:04 to go in the third quarter. Each team only had one possession. The Bulldogs had to punt. And now Gatesville is facing a 4th and 11 from their Burnett 42-yard line.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you see Gatesville doing here? What have they had the most success with?
The success has been this little out trying to get it. They've tried to go to the middle. It hadn't worked very well, so they might try to – that is where we've been a bit susceptible if you look at games. Getting somebody out of the back. You got Burns in the backfield. Maybe you try to float him out over the middle. We have had some trouble with that, so you got to stay at home. But I think either you do – the only problem they have with that is it takes a little longer to develop. The out pattern makes more sense, but he doesn't show to have the arm – he's got to get rid of it quick.
But that has been
11 yards.
Right, that has been his best throw, but I don't know that he can throw it. Yeah, you're right, that far on an out route.
Yeah.
But the Bulldogs need to put it in his hands and make sure we take care of Smith.
Yeah. And Smith is in the game.
You know,
he might pass the
I
ball.
was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. He is in. There's two backs in the backfield, like a double pistol now, empty backfield as they split out. They're going to throw it to Smith over on the left side with three blockers, I think.
Get through there.
Nope. They go the other way, and ball knocked up in the air and then caught by Gatesville. Oh, my goodness. And he gets it all the way down. I'll have to see who it is. And this was it was bad luck. Bulldogs got the coverage. It bounces up in the air. He stepped in front of it, but it comes down to Gatesville, and he catches it, and he runs all the way down inside the 10 to the 9. Would have been a turnover and downs. Instead, they've got a 1st and goal. I'm not sure if you happen to see.
That's number 10. Amos Phillips is the wide receiver, and Sanchez was the defender who timed it perfectly, got there exactly when the ball did.
But it didn't get knocked down. It goes up.
But bad luck, and Phillips stayed with it and even went about another 15.
He has it now. Smith in shotgun, in the pistol formation. They hand it off to Smith, and he will push forward and get a touchdown, 9-yard touchdown run. That, sometimes you have those little things, and that's a huge turn. Smith goes in from 9 yards out for the touchdown, and now you just can't let it affect the rest of the game. It's obviously a huge play. You get the ball. Instead, they score a touchdown, 3:47 to go in the third quarter. But the Bulldogs are going to have to shake that off. That's a hard one to take, but it's going to be one we're going to have to see, as Coach Hale had said. You have that adversity. Extra point is on the way, and it is good. So a little bad luck for the Bulldogs, then capped off by a 9-yard touchdown run by Smith. I'm going to take this break. 3:47 to go in the third quarter. Our new score, Burnett 17, the Gatesville Hornets 7 on BTXSportsOnline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Tata. Has anyone ever told you that you can gain a lot by losing? Well, you can. And no, I'm not talking about losing weight. My friend Cecile has a tiny little room in a nursing home, just enough space for a bed and a chest of drawers in a corner by a window, and that's it. But with photos, a flower arrangement, and a colorful afghan, Cecile has made it look and feel like a real home. She lost a lot when she went into that nursing home, yet oh, how much contentment she has gained just by scaling down her heart's desires in order to fit into that small, cozy nest. 1 Timothy chapter 6 says, "We brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it." So, next time you feel you must have that new kitchen appliance or that new car, think about this verse and remember my friend Cecile. Be content with where God has you.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser is going to be another pooch kick. Going to be downed at the 35. Smart play there by the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs looked almost, that was Charles Edwards, I believe, who downed that. You just can't let it continue that play to hurt you for more plays. It did happen, and when your defense, you think you do everything right, but they get the score, and then you start at your own 35, so the offense needs to pick up the defense here a little bit.
You know, you're not going to play a perfect football game, so you overcome it.
Let's get some drive, run some more clock off. We are 3:46, so more than half of the third quarter gone. Trip receivers to the right. Murray going to swing out the pass to Laidler. He has some blocking, bounces to the outside, and still on his feet. Pushed out of bounds near the 50. That'll be good for a first down. Like the little swing pass, caught him in stride. Lou Laidler carries it up to the 50-yard line. Good start to the drive. That's a 15-yard gain for the Bulldogs, 1st and 10 on the pass from Murray to Laidler.
Really nice play, and Laidler used his speed to take it up the sideline.
It did stop the clock as he went out of bounds. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They're going to hand it off to Laidler, and he's following blockers. Gets away from 2 tacklers. Hill on his feet, grabbed that football. Yeah. That football was hanging out there too much. And if somebody hits him from behind, an outstanding run, but tuck that football. And he gets down to the 36-yard line, a gain of 14. Nice run by Laidler. Very patient run. 1st and 10. Bulldogs moving the ball, 36-yard line of Gatesville.
I like the tempo. This is how we scored the last time.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, short side of the field. Handed off to Laidler again, but they got somebody snuck through the line and hit him in the backfield. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, no more. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Bulldogs trying some different running backs.
Some fresh legs. Laidler stays in. 2:45 and counting third quarter. 17-7. Bulldogs with the lead. Laidler to the left of Murray. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right on 2nd and 10. Murray is going to throw. He has the man. Howell tries to get the outside. He does. He'll get the first down and then just kind of slips down as he was hit, but couldn't keep his feet. But it's going to be a first down to the 26-yard line. Or was that? Yeah, that was Howell with the catch, correct. 1st and 10 at the 26.
Or was it Stanford?
No, I think he had the block.
Okay.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. It is 1st and 10 at the Gatesville 26. Clock starts up again after the first down is marked off. Kasner in front of the ball carrier, Laidler is able to get away from 1 tackle, and he's hit hard, though. Nice job to get back and get some positive yards. There were 2 defenders in the backfield. They had read that well. Laidler showing that good speed to get around the corner to at least get a yard to the 25, or that would have been a loss. 2nd and 9.
Yeah, he saved that play from being a lost mark and just using a lot of effort, and we'll get a spell right here.
Yep, Coronado in. Kasner also in the backfield with Murray. Kasner the up back. 2 receivers to the right. 2nd and 9 to throw. Pump fake, throws it. Williams catches at the 5. Touchdown, Bulldogs! Great adjustment by Williams, and it is a pass of 25 yards from Rhett Murray to Williams. Bulldogs lead 23-7 with the extra point to come. What a great job there. And again, Matthew Williams able to adjust as he made the catch and kind of hop back and then able to go into the end zone. Marcus Orta to attempt the extra point. Snap is back. Hold is good, but it was a little late and it's blocked. It was tipped, and It is picked up by Gatesville, so Campos Huerta's extra point attempt is blocked. Keeps it 23-7. We're going to keep it here. Talk about that last play. Murray had to pump fake, but they gave him time in the pocket, and he was able to find Williams for the score.
Well, we've talked about how it doesn't really go well for us when he has to pump fake, and he did it twice, but was accurate enough, put it right on the numbers. Gatesville had a defender all over Williams, but I'm so impressed with Williams. Matthew Williams, and he just does such a fantastic. He's got great hands, and once he catches it, Mark, he's hard to bring down. Will not be denied. He catches that at about the 2 and just brings himself to get in the end zone, break a tackle.
Bulldogs, and what a great answer to that score. And that's where your offense, they picked up the defense, as we said. And, again, they had that play almost, but, hey, it's 17-7. Offense marches down. You said good pace, as you mentioned, and 23-7 at 1:13 to go in the third quarter, extend that lead back out. The extra point was blocked.
And that puts Murray at 166 yards unofficially.
Campos Huerta to kick up. This one he puts his leg into and gonna go about halfway, hit the L, middle of the L of Bulldogs in the middle of the end zone, and one bounce out. Again, a big kickoff, no chance to return it. As, again, showing his leg is Campos Huerta.
I think he started the year on the JV mark.
He didn't know. He came up 2 weeks ago.
Right. So, it didn't take him long to battle for that spot and earn it.
25-yard line is where they will start, the Gatesville Hornets. They trail 23-7 now. Big answer by the Bulldogs to score. They're going to hand it off to Burns, and he's going to get yards up to about the 29-yard line. Cy Burns with the carry. See if they give him the 30. I give him 29. Gain of 4, second down and 6. 53 seconds, clock runs. That one of those things that really it does take a bit of that fire out of Gatesville. They just get a big score, and then to go right down the field, a big answer. Second down and 6. Burns in the pistol formation. Now they have 2 backs in front as well. They hand it off to Burns, and he finds a seam to about the 35 or 36. Should give him a first down. It is. They give him 6 yards and the first down. 20. Go ahead.
And I know it's a little demoralizing because I think you also know that the passing game is not your bread and butter.
No.
And if you've got to come from behind, then you're relying on something that you don't do as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they might have broken off some big plays, but the Bulldogs have done a tremendous job, and let's keep doing that, of limiting that. First and 10, pistol formation. And again, hand it off to Burns, and he just going to go in, not get any room. Again, the Bulldogs do an excellent job. And that'll bring up second and 10. As we go to the fourth quarter, here we come. Fourth quarter, Bulldogs lead 23-7 as the crowd gets up. Go to the fourth quarter, Bulldogs on top on BTXSportsOnline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM.
Do you know the feeling of debilitating guilt and shame? We all feel guilt over something, but shame can attach to our soul and secretly become our identity. Have you endlessly tried to find ways to forget that shame? Come out of the dark and talk to someone that can help you discover that you are not alone. Jesus loves you. To find out how to get that freedom through a relationship with Jesus, call or text us at 888-NEED-HIM or go to chataboutjesus.com to chat online.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live here as we go to the fourth quarter. Bulldogs leading 23-7. Got some scores for us.
District scores, Stephenville 38, Waco La Vega 28, and that game is halfway through the fourth quarter. Brownwood has found some offense this week, and they are beating China Spring 30-21 halfway through the third. And then Lavernia has opened up a 27-7 lead over Marble Falls halfway through the third.
And it's 23-7 here, Bulldogs lead. I'm going to make sure I mention, I don't have yet, tomorrow the Esprit de Corps is in Buda. I think it was at 10:30 or 10:45 tomorrow morning they're going to be competing. 2nd and 10. Keaton to throw, does have time. Now he pulls it down, throws it, and incomplete. He did have a man there. But, again, they just seem out of sorts when they try to throw Grayson Egling. It goes through his hands. There was a Bulldog close by, but it'll bring up 3rd and 10.
I'd like to see maybe a little more pressure on the quarterback so that he's not so comfortable and just looking for who he wants to throw it to because he had plenty of time.
Yeah, he did. 3rd and 10, just underway in the 4th quarter. Next week's homecoming, 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 scheduled kickoff against, make sure I always get it in the mix, San Angelo Lake Creek.
Lakeview.
Thank you. See, I knew. Told you. 3rd and 10 for Gatesville. Pistol formation to throw. Keaton throws it and catch is made. We played really soft there.
Too much room.
And on 3rd and 10, we were another 10 yards off the ball, and he's just able to hit the receiver right at the marker, and that does move the chains as Keaton hit the Hornet receiver at the 48-yard line of Burnett. So onto the Burnett side of the field. Clock runs 11:30 to go in the game. 23-7 Bulldogs. Yeah, gave that up a little too easy on 3rd and 10. Pitch it to Smith. Smith looking for some room. He found a hole and then
stripped the ball.
Yep, he is still, again, almost every player on the field. And I think everyone on the field has now got there as they hadn't blown the whistle. And I think he loses his helmet again. He does get down to the 38-yard line. 10-yard gain for Smith. Every player by the end was in that scrum there in the middle.
Well, I know you said it in the first half. I think that's a prime opportunity to punch the football out. We mentioned the band, and I'll mention cross country tomorrow. They run in Marble Falls. That'll be early in the morning. If you want to make your way out there to watch those guys run.
1st and 10 at the 38. Pistol formation to throw. Keaton has the man in the Zegling again, and they got a little bit behind him, but fortunately the pass nowhere close. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Lots of things have gone on. We've had tennis and golf, and also the swim team had a successful meet. Coach Gerper's in the swim team last weekend. And so lots of stuff happening. And thank you for mentioning cross country tomorrow and the Esprit de Corps tomorrow. It does not stop when the weekends come. Still rolling on.
No, it does not.
2nd down and 10 at the Burnett 38-yard line for the Hornets. They're going to pitch it to Burns this time, and he has a spin move that gets him on an extra yard or so at about the 33-yard line, a gain of 5. Right now, clock does run. 10:40 on the game clock. 3rd down and 5 for the Hornets.
Yeah, you would like to see the Bulldog defense toughen up right here, and there's still a lot of time left, and get a turnover on downs or a turnover.
It is a 2-possession game if you look at 8 points on extra points. Keaton going to hand it off to Burns on a little bit of the draw, and he breaks outside because of a missed tackle, and he gets down to the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 13. Get a 1st down at the 20 for Gatesville.
Jordan Jones on that tackle. If he doesn't make that mark, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, he was one more player away from going. 1st and 10 for Gatesville. Burns going to pitch it to him. He's trying to find space on the outside.
It's got to be a hold. But no call.
And there have not been too many flags.
No, it's been penalty-free for the most part.
Gain of 1 to the 19.
But that one looked like we got tackled in the backfield.
So 2nd and 9. Ball at the Burnett 19. Peyton Lopez checks in the game for the Bulldogs defense. Smith back in it, tailback in the pistol formation. Keaton gets the snap. He's going to roll to throw it. Has time, throws it out in the flat, and I really think he should have thrown it downfield. It's incomplete, but the receivers, they made a couple of decent catches, but they just don't seem to be real used to having that happen, and we put them in. That's what you want in a situation they're not comfortable, but that's incomplete. I thought he had the middle. He had 3 guys out on the right side, 3 receivers, and it looked like he threw underneath, and it was open, but thought he had more room downfield, but incomplete.
Well, like we talked about earlier, the success of Gatesville so far being 3-1 has been the quarterback play because, well, I'll get to that in a second.
Smith now pistol formation behind Keaton. They're going to hand it off to Smith, and they did block it on that left side and gave him room, and he scores a touchdown. He just kept going, and they just shut us off on the left side. I thought, well, we just push him out of bounds, but we don't, and that's a 19-yard touchdown run by Smith, and that's what they want to do. And he's hobbling a little bit, but he's going in as, again, it's 23-13, so they're going to go for 2 here. 19-yard touchdown run by Smith. Rayshawn Smith's second touchdown of the night. But we had really shut that down most of the night, and then that time they just cleared it out for him. And he is lined up in a tailback position, pistol formation, and they're going to throw it, though. Pressure comes, though, but then the quarterback, Keaton, able to dive for the goal line, and nobody able to get to him, and he gets the 2-point conversion, makes it an 8-point game with 8:55 to go. We'll go ahead and keep it here. It is 23-15, so they are now 1 score and a 2-point conversion away from tying it. So Gatesville just kind of worn us down a little bit. They with the run and they just been able to stay in it, and still a lot of time left. So now can the Bulldogs offense answer again? They did last time, but they're going to be asked to move the ball again.
And that may be a good way to put it, that they wore us down. And, you have an up-tempo offense that drove down the field and scored a touchdown, but they were not on the field all that long. So, again, can you give the defense a little bit of a rest here, get a good solid drive? I think Gatesville is going to do something other than pooch kick this. There's still a lot of football left, but I wouldn't be surprised if you saw something on the ground.
8:55 in the game. Gatesville has made it a 23-15 game. Got the 2-point conversion.
And Bulldogs are expecting this too. You've got 10 players within 10 yards.
And we are ready for the kickoff.
Now you got to be careful if he kicks this over everyone's head.
We got one back deep watching for that.
They're waiting on the coach to tell them what to do.
And it is the pooch kick, but pretty deep. And it will be returned from the 15-yard line by Stanford. Pretty good coverage, though, as he only gets back to about the 22. So, Bulldogs lead by 23-15, but Gatesville has closed it to a one-possession game. Bulldogs have the ball at their own 22-yard line. 8:49 to go. A lot of time on the clock. It seemed like it was moving pretty fast, but there's a lot of time left here. Bulldogs not wanting to let this one slip away.
No, we knew Gatesville was not going to quit, so the Bulldogs have got the answer.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Coronado to the right of Murray. Trip receivers to the right, one to the left. They're going to swing it out to Coronado. Looking for blockers. He'll get positive yards. And up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And a gain of 4. Bulldogs want to keep the chains moving and the clock running. They lead 23-15, very similar. Last week it was 22-15, the final score in Fredericksburg, so we're right there again. Bulldogs have really been in control all night, but It's just a one-possession game here in the fourth. Going to hand it off to Coronado, and that up the middle just haven't had space, and he loses a yard to the 25, and we're bringing up a very important third down. Very important here for the Bulldogs as it's third and about 7. Still 7:50 on the clock here in the fourth quarter.
Well, there's 7:50, and you don't want to stop the clock, but you may have to throw this football to get the first down.
Oh, I think so. You need this first down.
You need the first.
The momentum is Gatesville side. Snap back to Murray. There it is, and he is going to throw. They bring pressure. He puts it up for grabs, and it's intercepted. They brought pressure, and they got to Murray, and they called the right play at the right time, and interception as it floated up there at the 36-yard line. Gatesville has the ball. They have the momentum, and they'll have a 1st and 10 at the Burnett 36.
Yep, there's the mistake that you didn't want to make, especially in this part of the field.
Yep, they brought that pressure late. Bulldogs don't have the defense on the field. Burns gets it, and he gets through a hole down to the 28, and he's running with a little extra. Bulldogs didn't have everybody on the field, running somebody late on, and it's gain of 9 yards to the 27.
Well,
right now it's – I'm sorry, go ahead.
3 and out, and your defense is right back on without much of a rest.
And it's 2nd and 1. Bulldogs trying to dig in. 6:57 to go. It's 23-15. Burns in the backfield. They're going to hand it off him on the counter, and he's hit, but not before he'll get a first down to the 22-yard line. Gain of 5. Right now they're gashing it at 4, 5, 6 yards a carry.
Yeah, Gatesville's running with a lot more energy right now because they've made this a game, and I see Burns doing most of the work here, and then Smith's going to come in and try to run the touchdown.
Burns in the pistol formation. They pitch it to him again, and he has space for a little. Ball comes out, going the other way. Bulldogs, no whistle. Are they not chasing him? I don't know. It looks like they blew it down.
They did.
Who was that picked it up? Is that Kasner? What? Clock was running during that time. None of the refs followed, so that's not Kasner, though.
Well, from our angle on this side of the field, it's going to be really – and it was hard to tell if the ball was out or not.
So they give him yardage. No fumble. Ball's at the 18-yard line. We could use one of those fumbles. Oh, goodness. I even if he didn't run it back, just have the ball. It's 2nd and 6. Smith is checked in. They're going to pitch it to Smith. Bulldogs trying to get in. He does knock him down. Great job. Get out of the way. Why are we standing up talking? Great play by Brian Johnson, but don't get where they could throw any kind of flag. Oh, my goodness. Play smart football. We have all night. Now it's coming down to 5:24 to go. Great job of getting penetration and lost, I guess, a yard and put it back to the 18.
Great tackle. I don't know that you want to get Smith any more motivation than he's already got.
He's in the pistol formation. I want to win the ball game. Play smart football. Snap back. He's going to throw. Throws it out and incomplete. And we got that. We were there, but again, like breaking late, and they try to get it to 44, I think. And it was close, but Leon couldn't catch up with it. No, it's 14. Sorry. My bad. Wes Altman. Obviously, it was my bad. 4th down. Here we go. 4th down. Not the game with 5 minutes to go, but a huge play. Bulldogs trying to get – do they have the people they need in? They don't. They need to. Bulldogs need to call a timeout. They do. They did not have the defenders on the field. They were trying to get them. Bulldogs, smart timeout. All right, so we're going to keep it here. It's going to be a 4th down and about 6 from the 18-yard line. And, they put it in Smith's hands so much, but they've started throwing. They had some openings. Do you throw it or do you pitch it back there and try to go to that, hey, we had that wall over here earlier?
I don't know. I recall a Super Bowl a few years ago where they should have handed it off. So I'm thinking you give it to who you believe your best player is and let him do what he does.
I run that sweep to the left, and hopefully we can get somebody through there. But
now the Bulldogs feel, that they probably got a little cheated there on that fumble, but they have got to put that out of their minds. It's the next play mentality, and this is a big play.
It is,
and the Bulldogs can do a lot to help themselves if they can get a stop right here.
So 5 minutes to go, exactly 5 minutes left in the game. It is 23-15. Bulldogs still playing from an advantage of power from the fact that they've got to score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. But here's your chance to get them off the field on 4th down and a long 6. They're at the 18-yard line.
I think this is a run, but, Mark, you've got to go with receivers. You can't let anybody sneak away from you.
Pistol formation. Smith in the backfield, 4th and 6. Keaton, snap. He pitches it to Smith. It's a reverse. He wanted to throw. He throws it up, but pressure makes the pass short. It's no good. Turnover on downs. They try a little trickery. Amos Phillips gets the pitch from Smith, but he had pressure. We did not bite on it and forced him to throw it because there was somebody out there, but the throw came up short. Who got the pressure on him? Did you notice that? First and 10, Bulldogs, big defensive stop. Last week they had one. Let's see if this can carry them to victory.
That might have been Coronado if he's over there playing that.
Yeah, he plays that
side, that linebacker spot. I think it was.
Burnett starts at the 18, needing some first downs. Diamond formation. They hand it off to Coronado. He has blockers. He has a seam. He has room. First down up past the 30-yard line. Coronado finding an entourage and following them for a first down to the 34-yard line. Entourage, big word of the month. Write that one down. I can't spell it.
Now, this ought to give the Bulldogs the momentum, especially after that last run by Coronado.
First and 10.
Clock
runs after they said it. Sorry, thank you. Yeah, that was from the 18 to the 34, 16 yards. First and 10. Bulldogs do want clock run, under 10 seconds on the play clock. 4:15 on the game clock. Now you got to snap it. Now you got to be ready to snap it.
Now.
And they do just get it off. And they brought somebody extra, and we didn't get it blocked. And Kasner was the carrier, and he hit for a big loss back to the 29. They've brought that blitz a couple of times, and it has helped them. It's going to be a loss of 5 back to the 29, and it'll be 2nd down and 15. Clock runs 3:44.
That's Kastner's first carry of the night, and it goes for -5. Line's got to do a better job on that one.
Again, diamond formation on 2nd down and long. This time they hand it off the middle. Push back hard. I'm not sure who got the ball. It was Ladler with the carry. They're going to use is that their second timeout, Gatesville? I believe.
Yes.
He gained a couple, 3 maybe to the 32. We're keeping it here. Gained 3 yards to the 32. It'll bring up 3rd and 12. Clock has stopped with the timeout by Gatesville.
Both teams will have one timeout to play with.
So 23-15. The Bulldogs have played a good ball game, but Gatesville has hung around. And they are 3-1 team coming in, and you see some of it. They just kind of grind it out, and they have worn us down some, and got a little luck in there. But that's going to happen, and they took advantage of it. But a big stop on the last series. But the Bulldogs will again. Last time we saw it, they brought pressure. We had to stand in the pocket, 3rd and 12. I think we got to get this one out of there quicker. We don't want the turnover. Even if we don't get the first down, punt it away. But that we don't want to give them a short field. We're 3:26 to go in the ball game. You're up by 8. As you said, that's just not what the big turnover you can't give up.
Well,
here.
I like our timing routes, but I also don't know that I like a throw to the sideline just because that's an easy read for the defender.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, stacked on 3rd and 12. Murray in shotgun. He is going to throw. Gets rid of it. Catch is made. Pimentel, you're not going to get the first down. He gets up to the 41-yard line, and so that's a gain of 9. It'll be a 3rd and 3.
Let's see if we can get him to jump here.
Yeah, I don't see us going for it. Clock runs, but we need to run off. We got 30 seconds on the play clock. I do see us trying to get him to jump because it would be enough for the first down. It's 4th and 3. And even if we jumped, it wouldn't be the worst thing at this point. But let clock run. We're not in a hurry. We got the trip receivers over on the left here, again, by the sideline. We need to let it run all the way down. We might use that timeout. I think we are. And there's our timeout with 1 second on the play clock. So 2:36 to go. 4th and about 3 from the 41. I think you do line up, try to get him to jump. And if you do, you get the first down and possibly the ball game. If you don't, even if you were to jump, it's worth the chance, because then you're going to punt it away. It's only 5 yards.
I agree with you. I kind of wish we had done it right then.
Right there.
You rush to the line, you get them down in position, and then you try it. And I think you're more likely to get it in that situation. But we have seen Murray he's expert at that.
Yeah.
So maybe he can get it done.
It is worth a try. And the Bulldogs offense has to stay set, make sure that's. So you've had a lot of strange things. People, we were talking about it this week. The last week game ended on a punt. You don't see that very often.
No, that's true.
I don't know if you have.
Well, there's no wind. So if you put Lathler back to punt it, he should be able to get off a good punt.
The punting is always, always the things that always have to go right, but we have done a good job with that. But I don't see us going for this, actually. You just don't want to give them at the short side of the field with 2:36 to
back
go.
there.
He's in punting formation, so we're just looks like going to punt it away. This is where a good exchange. Snap is good. Laidler gets it away. Good line drive kick. They didn't have anybody back.
Come on, ball.
Come on, get there. Williams, get there. Don't wait for it. And it stops at the 5-yard line. Great kick by Lou Laidler. And it's 95 yards away. They do have a chance, but great kick. Great job. Williams was down there but it stopped and just dead there at the 5-yard line.
He has been quite the weapon tonight.
Yes.
On 4th down.
So Gatesville will start at their own 5. They've got 95 yards to go. 2:24 to go in the game. 23-15. High drama.
And they have to get the 2-point conversion even if they score a touchdown, Mark. So
yes,
this is the Bulldogs' game to win.
Thanks, Coach Messer. He is jumping for joy of that punt. Going to throw in the middle of the field. It's caught, and we don't tackle. We were just waiting for something to fall down. The catch was made by Amos Phillips, and they do get a big first down on the pass play with a lot of people in there up to the 26-yard line. First down. They're in a hurry up. Keaton rolls. Has time. Throws it out, and
wow.
It was caught by the aim at Phillips. I thought he was throwing it to the up. I think he was, but it got to Phillips, and they're at the 43. We've got to be ready, and this is where we can get a bit. We've got to get some pressure on the quarterback. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. 153 and counting. Keaton to throw. Middle of the field. Incomplete. I mean, both of those passes, either one could have come to the Bulldogs. We just need to be in the right spot. We can take one of these picks and close this game out. Force Keaton to throw it a little bit early, and we can close out this game. Here's the defense, 2nd and 10. Keaton rolls to his left, throws left side, and
dropped.
It was dropped, wasn't it?
It was.
Okay, all right. It looked like it, and then
Phillips.
Yeah.
Phillips, who has made 2 amazing catches, and drops the one that's right in his hands.
So it's 3rd and 10. Third down and 10,
third.
yes, at the 43. 1:45 to go, 23-15. Trying to build the tension up because it's here. Trip receivers to the left. Keaton in shotgun on 3rd and 10. Low snap. He rolls to the left. Still rolling. Pulls it down. Bulldogs knock the ball loose. Pick it up. They do. Bulldogs have got it at the 39-yard line. They forced him out. They've knocked the ball out, and it goes into the hands of the Bulldogs, and there's the turnover. It wasn't the interception, but the pressure got to Keaton. Bulldogs take over on the fumble, and with 1:34 to go, Bulldogs can run this clock out. Gatesville only one timeout left. Where did they end up marking it?
Nathan Torres, I believe, mark number 55, is the one who stripped that ball out of there.
Penalty. Well, they had a penalty on the play. Gatesville did. That was declined. Turnover. They start at the 38, which that doesn't matter at this point. It's about getting the last 1:34 off the clock. Defense comes up big again.
I stand corrected. That might have been Howell. It's just hard to tell, but from over here. But just a great play by the Bulldogs to come up with that. We talked about it. When they're making that extra effort, you got to strip the ball out, and that's what the Bulldogs did.
And we are in victory formation. Snap back to Murray, takes a knee. Clock runs with 1:30. 40 seconds goes on the play clock. Now it starts. What did
they? I thought they were out of timeouts.
No.
No, wait. No, they have one left. They had one left.
Okay, but they moved us back 5 yards. Oh, that's where he took a knee.
Right,
yeah, he took. Okay, he was that far.
Well,
it was a timeout. Right? Yeah. All right.
It
1:29 to go. Timeout. Last one for Gatesville. So, yeah, you can figure it's 1:29 to go. Now 25 seconds. Well, they'll start that. It doesn't matter. So, start it about 4 or 5 seconds. It'll go to 40. So, it'll be close. Like last week, we ended up having to punt the ball.
We're going to have to do the same thing.
They
just added 2 seconds to the clock.
44-yard line. We're at the Burnett 44. 23-15. Nothing's ever easy in this world, which is what makes it exciting. Yes, that's what I'll keep saying. Second down and long. Bulldogs. Now they get out of victory formation.
Well, I think they figured they're going to have to run it one time.
Yeah, and run it just even to use more clock.
So you've got 10 seconds on the play
clock. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just get the play off. You don't want to lose yards on the penalty.
Hold on to the ball.
Yes, that is protection of the ball at the top. And they do hand it off the middle and takes a hard hit. Was that Kasner? Or? Oh, he did get hit hard. It was Kasner.
Oh, goodness.
Yep.
Clock.
And it stopped because of he's going to have to jog off, but the ref did stop the clock as Kasner came up favoring one of the legs, but he's jogged off the field. All right, now it should start the clock back up.
Peyton Lopez is replacing Coronado.
Yeah, but 25, so that took off so it's third down and about 15. Now the clock should have started running again. There it goes, but we have 25. We need to use all of that 25 play clock.
Right, surely he won't snap this.
Yeah, no, we have no reason to. Do not. For another 15 seconds. Minute 4. We're going to go under a minute in the game. About 8 seconds on the play clock. He is letting it run down. And now it's snapped, and they do hand it off to Lopez, who came in the game, and he's pushed back. Gain of 2.
8 seconds,
43. Mark. Back, they lost it, so they got the yardage back to the 43.
We got about 7 or 8 second difference.
And it is fourth down. Wow. That's close 2 weeks in a row. It's really odd. So 24 seconds on the play clock, 28 seconds.
Now, we don't have a timeout to figure out if we're going to do anything different.
But if we can let it run down to a penalty, and it's just 5 yards. 11 seconds on the play clock. I think we might just take the penalty. 7 seconds on the play. 10 on the game, and there is the penalty. We take the penalty with 6 seconds to go. 6 seconds to go. What do you do? I think you snap it back and you just hold it there, and if they're coming close to you, fall down, and hopefully 6 seconds have run off and don't leave them any time. But if it is, it's from the 40-yard line.
Well, we were in this position last week.
Yes, and we punted. I don't see us punting this time.
We did it last time.
He's in there to punt.
You know, let's say you have a bad snap. You've got an athlete back there that can go get
time
it.
would run out as long as he goes
And he can
gets
run
it.
around.
Yeah. It is 4th down in about 20.
Just
6 seconds. 4th down.
Don't kick it to anybody.
Laidler, he is going to run backwards. Laidler's watching the clock. He's still running.
Good.
He's still running.
That's good.
And the clock stops as he runs into the other end zone. I don't know if they're going to call that a safety or not, but a smart move. And Laidler and they do call it a safety. Yep. That is going to be a final score change. But smart move. Laidler just ran and ran. They were chasing him. He got into the end zone just as it went to 0, but the play was still going. Runs out of the back of the end zone. Safety makes the final score 23-17.
Well, we thought that we might see that
last week.
Great game.
All right.
Great game.
Yeah, and a lot of interesting things. But and give Gatesville credit. They did hang around. They kept doing it. And again, the Bulldogs, though, the great start of the game, it set the tone. And then some big defensive plays at the end, able to seal it. So another good win against a team, coming in, you didn't know it, 3-1 here after being on the road 3 weeks. So a great victory. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back and wrap it up here pretty quick. But our final score, the Bulldogs do move to 3-2 as they defeat the Gatesville Hornets 23-17 on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
You probably know someone who's really good at trying your patience.
I've just got to grit my teeth and love them, even if it kills me. And it probably will.
1 Corinthians 13 has some instructions for dealing with those kinds of people. Love is patient, it says. Love endures all things. We're called to do more than just endure. True love says, how can I help this person and pursue their best interests? True love is active, aggressive, long-suffering, investing in the people who bother us the most. Think about how God loved us. Even though we lived in sin and rebellion, He lavished His love on us. Even though we had offended His holiness, He sent His Son for us. If you ask Him, He'll give you the power to lavish His love on those difficult people in your life. With Seeking Him, I'm Nancy DeMoss Wagamuth.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser. That'll be our final timeout. We send it away from here next with our closing, just to let Dan know down the line there. Bulldogs win it 23-17. We'll talk a little more about that. Let's get the stats first.
Super fun game. Bulldogs did a great job of executing all levels. Let's start with Rhett Murray. 19 of 26 for 170 yards and 1 touchdown. And Pimentel, one throw for 13 yards and 1 touchdown. On the receiving end, Williams, such an impressive night, 71 yards on 5 carries and a touchdown. And you've got Howe, 2 catches for 18. Pimentel, 4 catches for 24. Coronado, 1 for 4. Stanford, 2 for 10. Kastner, 1 for 6. Prather, 1 for 13 and a touchdown. On the ground, Coronado does most of the work at 15 carries for 67 yards and 1 touchdown. Laidler comes in with 5 carries for 20 yards.
I got a little shout-out there from Coach Messer. I do want to say this. Even though I heard one week she wanted to turn down because I was a little loud, which I can't argue with, but Coach Messer's wife, I know she listens in as well, and just for putting up with Messer, that she deserves a shout-out. But do always appreciate his messages throughout the night, and everybody else as well listening in. Just a great ball game for the Bulldogs, 23-17. Got a little exciting at the end. You want to be able to have those games like, it's easy at the end, but that's just not the reality a lot of times, and these are good games. And as you were pointing out, you talked about it at halftime and even off the air about the competition we've been playing, and that's important because we're playing this good competition over and over again, and that pays off down the line as well.
And oftentimes you think you want things easy for your kids and for your team, but, really – in reality, it's okay that they get pushed to the limit. It's okay that it's an 8-point game with just a it comes down to the last play of the game and we have to run for a safety, because now we've been in that situation twice in 2 weeks in a row, and who's to say that a district game won't end that way? So oftentimes the easiest road is not the best road, and so I like what's happened the last 2 weeks.
It is, and to get the wins, it does. It makes you feel better. Sometimes that you're going to come out on the other end of that, and you got to deal with that. But either way, as the journey is definitely important. But it is nice to be able to seal those victories, and they have the last 2 weeks, and that's been just great. So we're going to send it out of here. Again, appreciate everybody joining. Thanks to Coach Kaiser, to Damon here, Chad, of course, with BTX, sportsonline.com, Dan with KMPN. We're going to get it to you right back at about 10 o'clock. We're homecoming next week, a great senior night this week, homecoming festivities going on, and the Bulldogs will be at home, 7 o'clock. Scheduled 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 kickoff against, you want to say it because I'm going to mess it up again. So
San Angelo Lakeview.
Thank you so much. I'm going to write it down everywhere for next week. But never faced them before, so they come to town for homecoming next week. Do appreciate everybody for just all the nice things and the support. I have to say thanks to Coach Steve Hale, the athletic director, coming in halftime. That was just great, awesome to get to spend some time with him. As we send it back down the line, the Bulldogs now 3-2 on the season as the Gatesville Hornets fall to 3-2. Bulldogs win it 23-17 over the Gatesville Hornets on BTX sportsonline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM. Thank you and good night.
And thanks for listening to tonight's special presentation of Burnett Bulldog High School football at 95.9 FM, KMPN Burnett. This game has been produced exclusively through Camp and Isle of Marble Falls, which is celebrating over 70 years of camping ministry in the Marble Falls area, and the KHCB network. We hope you'll join in next time for more of the action of Burnett High School football, brought to you by Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser. We now join our regular programming already in progress. Thanks for listening.